And today joining me, I'm going to intro each one of you guys, and then you can add something if you want, like if I forgot something. So we got Anders, who's an old schooler from Team Sui, who also casted StarCraft with Madelisk. They were the fittest StarCraft 2 casters, putting everybody else to shame out there. Does a little bit of bodybuilding on the side, and all around great guy. How are you doing, Anders?
Oh, I'm super fine. It's really great to be here with you, man. I'm feeling great. I'm really excited about talking some Warcraft 3. I'm a big fan of the show.
All right, it's good to have you. And then we have the Mr. Nobody Cares Bro himself, Neutron. The man who played in my tournament, who played the Todd Invitational, he played 2 rounds supposedly, but we didn't see a single game from him. What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up, everyone? Hello.
Then we have the biggest shit kid in the scene, I call him. Is an old school Warcraft 3 player who also plays StarCraft 2 once upon a time on my team. Great lighting and webcam, by the way. Like, I can barely see you. You look like Bane in a cave over there.
You want me to turn up the light?
It's X-Stored. No, I want you to intro yourself.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Wait. Oh my god, this cable is so long. He went all the way to the...
And something else is also so long.
Your ego?
Yeah.
How are you doing, X-Lord?
I'm totally fine.
You're a fan of the show, aren't you?
Biggest fan.
Nice. And then we have Vortex. Also an old school Warcraft. Actually, it's like everybody's old school Warcraft 3 apparently on this show. And also who was very competitive in StarCraft 2 from Spain. Recently joined the team. He's going to play in the Spanish EPS alongside his brother. How's it going, Vortex?
Hello, it's going pretty well. You also forgot to mention that I played Heroes of the Storm as well on a pretty decent level. But yeah, pretty happy to be here.
It's not something most people will brag about, but sure.
Best game ever. What the hell are you saying?
So let's get started, I guess, with our topics. The first one is going to be Reforged and what you would like to see improved. Like we covered a lot of the Reforged launch in the past, and we covered that subject a lot. So if you don't have anything to add to all the discussion that we've already had, you don't have to chime in on it. But I think it's fair to make sure that I ask everybody about this in case, you want to bring up something special that's near and dear to you. So let's go first with Neutron. You were on the show before. Like, were you able to think about something else? Is there something that these days you play Warcraft 3 and you're like, God damn, I wish we had that?
Actually, last time on the show, I was with the 3 professional casters. If we count you, so it was 4 total. So I was lost completely while they were talking so much, and this time I think it's gonna be more easy for me. So on the topic, nothing to add. Reforged is still shit.
You said all of this for that? Okay. Anders?
Yeah, I'm also. I think a lot of things has already been said, but I think for me, it's not as much what I want to add to Reforged that hasn't been already been said. It's more the communication from Blizzard at this point. To be honest, that's what I would like to see more, because the way I see it, they have failed on 2 levels here. They have failed in terms of creating a good game, and they have also failed in communicating like what they're doing with the game. And I think at this point, the communication failure is what most people are annoyed about right now. Everybody's talking about just give us a date, tell us something, give us something to have some insight in your process right now. It doesn't matter if it's a half a year away to get the ladder, just say it at least, or give us some sort of like, okay, daily or weekly post or update or blog or something. It doesn't even have to be weekly, but at least more than they're doing right now, because right now it's the silence that's mostly frustrating, I think.
Yeah. But even looking past all of that, like if you actually had to name stuff that you would like to see implemented in the game, what takes the priority for you?
Then it's like everybody else, it's the ladder. Like everybody else is the set. But right now we got the pad ladder for the Warcraft T champions, so it might not even be necessary. But I don't know. That's the most frustrating part.
Yeah. X-Lord?
Well, I don't care too much about the ladder actually, because I think all of the good players are, no matter what, going to play NetEase anyway, despite the 200 ping. So personally, I don't care about a ladder on Warcraft 3 implement. What I care about is the replays in general, because you can't wind back the replay. You have to restart it all over, and then it's only 2 times the speed, or 4 times, 8 times, and so on. And I miss a lot of things that StarCraft has. I watched some Hero Marine, and StarCraft is so far ahead regarding those implements things, and it's crazy.
Vortex?
Yeah, there's not really too much to add. Like basically everything everyone is asking for, like ladder, profiles, clans, like they should be a priority, but for some reason they are focusing on making patches that solve bugs in the campaign that no one cares about,
Yeah.
or like releasing new 4v4 maps that no one even know existed back in the day. And it's like I'm actually starting to give up hope on basically they making any good patch at all. And also when you look at like the last releases they made also with like the Brugwa remaster or even Heroes of the Storm, like the ladder there, it took like 1 year to come out or something. It's like I don't even know what to expect anymore of this game. But yeah, like Extor said, I guess most players are happy playing in this, and even now with patch ladder, so ladder isn't really a priority anymore for big players, but I guess casual players really need it hardly.
That's what I'm talking about. Blizzard was about to finally add ladder, and then they're gonna listen to the show. They're like, oh, they don't care that much, whatever. Like, let's just put that on the side. Like, you guys are dropping the ball big time. Personally, like, I play on NetEase, and I think like it's good practice and everything, but at the same time, it's still 200 ms, which is not like super realistic practicing condition. I actually think that there is enough good players in Europe, and maybe like in America, that could play on something like Paz ladder. That's we could have a very competitive ladder on BNet that wouldn't necessarily require NetEase. Maybe the players wouldn't be as good as the NetEase players in the first place, but I think if we play a lot against each other, everybody's going to improve, and it's just going to be better practice conditions. So I definitely still think that ladder is somewhat important, even for like good players, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I guess the ladder in Classic was pretty good also. Like there was high level, so yeah, probably it would still be good to have one. But I mean, you have the pad one now, so
Yeah, which helps a lot. It's definitely been a pretty good experience. That's going to be one of our topics coming up later. Anders, I must ask you, because you avoided this discussion a lot, but the Thorzain thing, we saw you being very emotional and like super disappointed and stuff.
Yeah.
When that happened, so like, can you talk to us about like how furious you were, like how in disbelief like you might have been like around all this stuff that happened at DreamHack when Thorzain dropped twice against Moon? And do you think he was ahead in the games?
Yeah, I'm super biased, so I think he was ahead in the game. But yeah, and the what's nagging me, and this is what's nagging me about Reforged in overall, and it is that I'm gonna have to live with a what if question like forever. What if he defeated Moon? Like, what if he faced Foggy in the next round? What happened then? You know, he could have won everything. Just like, what if Reforged was good? How big would Warcraft be then? What would we have then? And the what if is the hardest part to get over. Like with anything that happens, that's frustrating. Does not goes your way. But yeah, I was super angry, and I'm still angry. And I've actually I cried 2 times in like the last cup in esports. The first time was when Thorzain won DreamHack in Stockholm. I cried because I was backstage then, and I actually cried when he disconnected versus Moon too, because it was a hard time for me. And yeah, I got super emotional. And now I think I met Thorzain in Stockholm a week later, and we talked about it, and he was okay with it. And the way when I saw how he handled it and the way he was dealing with it, it also made it easier for me to deal with it also. But it was a rough one. And yeah, I stick by the fact that I think they should personally apologize to him, even though they will never do it. But I think that's the symbolic request.
What about when Moon made a Blood Mage and Archmage and Flamestrike Blizzarded me? Did you drop a few tears here too, or?
Maybe if I looked at the replay now, I would do it. Cry a little bit.
Because that's way worse in my opinion. Okay, maybe.
Okay.
All right, let's go to next topic. Unless you guys want to add anything.
Actually, I think only viewers can think that Thorzain was had an advantage because I had a lot of games where I was down one base or even two bases, and if Warden is high leveled, you win anyway. And it was like 5 level Warden against 3-1 or something. So I think it was super advantage for Moon Knight
Yeah, but
to
did you
win anyway.
watch the Town Hall episode where Thorzain was? He explained that
Oh.
he dropped 10 seconds before that, so he couldn't micro in the fight.
Okay.
He couldn't micro in the
Actually,
fight, and like he couldn't do
I
anything.
didn't see the game. I just saw the information when what's left on both of them when the game ended. So
Yeah.
I didn't see it at all.
Yeah, I think it changes everything if he dropped 10 seconds
Yeah,
before. But
probably.
yeah, the
Yeah.
moment that he dropped, actually, I think like Moon was doing well, even though there was a few towers going up at his expo. Vortex, anything to add?
Not really much. I mean, actually, I think I checked like when he used his last spell, like the last bolt with the Mountain King, and honestly, I think Moon still had like good chances of winning that. At
Yeah.
least that's how I felt. Like I didn't think the game was 100% over for Thorzain as people thought. But I mean, it's obviously not really cool when something like that happens, and I guess Thorzain knows better. Like he probably got the feeling he was ahead, so
Yeah.
if that's the case, then it was probably fucked up for him.
So he got nice compensation anyway by the community.
Yeah,
And
I mean, he made the
that's good.
same prize as he would have if he advanced on to the next round, but he never got the chance to play in the semifinals in a match that he could have won. He never got the chance to win more money. Like, and also he never got the chance to be able to say, "Well, I beat Moon in an offline tournament," in Warcraft 3, which not many people
that's
can say.
important.
There were two the things, right? Actually, like it was not only one game, but I think it happened on 2 games against Moon, and I think the second one looked actually better for Thorzain, right?
Yeah, he got like some sick items. He had like 420 mana or something on his
Like I
MK.
remember watching the second, and then I thought that one looked actually pretty cool for Thorzain.
Yeah.
But the first one, which is for some reason the one everyone is complaining about, I think it wasn't that over.
Yeah. The second one he hadn't broken a keep though, so like not much had happened. I think the positions were okay. Anybody could still win in my opinion, but yeah, it really sucks to be robbed of ever seeing the ending of those games. Like you just sit and build up, you're getting excited, you're at the edge of your seat, you're like, who's gonna do it? And then boom, it's like, well, actually nobody's gonna do it because we're gonna have a regame. And then in the third game, everything goes wrong for him. I think that's why people are also outraged, and they're right to be. Like, I don't know how hard it is like to implement some sort of rhythm from replay, but we for sure need something like this in case there is disconnects. Especially
I
if
mean,
you're
they
gonna
got it
take.
done in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, like in Stock. Actually, it took a couple events like this, right? I remember there was like GSL versus GSTL, the team league of GSL, right? I think in Las Vegas
Yeah.
at next time at same time as IPL, and there was at least one or two major drops there that made people go like, "What the fuck? Like, how is there not reason for replay?" And then after that, Blizzard actually they felt like they needed to, but obviously it's StarCraft 2. The player base was much bigger back then. Like StarCraft 2 was massive. So I don't know if like as the small niche game that Warcraft is, Blizzard is necessarily gonna want to do something like that for Warcraft 3, but I hope so. Okay, next topic. It finally concluded last weekend's the Todd Invitational. So actually we can show this. There we go. So Happy was able to win that with Foggy taking second place, Cash taking third place, and Terror fourth. No prize for him. And let's start with Neutron here. Got invited to the tournament, won against Johnny Cage. You guys couldn't play at the times that we could broadcast, so I got replays, and I was like, I'm gonna cast those replays. And then literally the night before I cast the replays, patch. So replays broken, nobody will ever see those games. And then you were supposed to play Foggy, but then you had to travel. How sorry are you?
I'm super sorry because especially on the tournaments like this, not just the weekly standards, I feel obligated to show some interesting games and some results and at least to play. So and right now I'm just feeling like I wasted one invitation that could someone else use. So sorry guys, sorry Todd.
No worries. I
Yeah.
understand. Like with all the madness in the world and stuff, that you had to travel home and everything. And obviously, I can't blame you for the timing of the patch. Like nobody knew. I was so
Yeah,
shocked actually when somebody told me. I didn't even realize at first.
actually, games against Johnny were super crazy. That day, I decided not to go to internet cafe and just play from my laptop. And for some reason, Wi-Fi at the house was super bad, and every like 40 or 30 seconds, I had a freeze for like 3 4 seconds. So, and I always hope that I won't catch it in the fight. So it was fun. And for some reason, when I hosted and it was US server, Johnny had super bad ping, as he told me. And I won on US server, he won on Europe, and we decided to flip a coin.
And you won.
Yeah, I got lucky, and we played the third game on the US server again. And he tried some cheesy, super greedy expansion on the Amazonia,
I
and
saw that game.
I
Cause
just came and killed him. So
no. Like you need to explain that better. Walden came to his expo, stole the golem with one hit, and stole greater healing. That's a little more than that. So yeah, that was a win for you. Okay, Xlord, were you able to catch some of these games? And why didn't you play, man? Come on, you were invited.
Yeah, actually, I was not at home at that time when the tournament started. But then Corona came and fucked us all. But yeah, that's why I didn't accept the invite. But yeah, I catched a lot of the games. Actually, there were for me no big surprises, to be honest.
Terra beating Hawk, that's normal.
for me, it's super good for terror.
It's normal because Hawk played like dog shit in the last few weeks. So
My God.
But the game Hawk versus Terror on Amazonia was crazy, right? I remember looking at it. Wasn't it like a base race type of thing?
I don't know if it was this one. I remember a little bit more the Northern Isle first.
Oh.
What happened exactly?
I think Terror just made a really strong push. Hawk made an Amazonia Expo like always, and then there was like a really close base trade, and he was, Hawk was running around with super low HP heroes and
Yeah.
doing some tank stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that game was really really intense for
Yeah.
some minutes.
That's good. Xlord in the future, like you would be down to play this kind of tournaments if you're available.
yeah, sure.
How well do you think you would do? Like, do you kind of compare these tournaments to the ESL Open Cups, or do you think it's a little bit more stacked?
I don't know. There are, of course, a few opponents where I could lose sometimes. Like on Sunday, is it today Monday, Tuesday? Yeah, on Sunday I lost to Sheik, where I normally would say I wouldn't lose to him. And the tournament is more stacked, I would say, compared to ESL Open Cup, because there's more prize money for first, second, and third place, and not only for the first place. Like in the ESL Open Cup, we're happy, like for 99% wins the thing anyway. So more people play it, and I think it's more exciting to watch this instead of a ESL Open Cup.
Voltix, what was your experience like?
Well, I mean, I did pretty bad, but it wasn't really surprising. Like I had been struggling a lot against Night Elf for the last weeks before that. And since I started studies again last week, it's really hard for me to focus on a week matchup because I
Yeah.
got like 2 3 hours a day, and then I want to practice against all races. And yeah, I think against Please I wasn't really going in very confidently. I mean, I thought like even if it was my worst matchup I could win, but I really had no clue what I wanted to play because I had been struggling so much that I thought if I just played standard I would lose hard. So I was kind of trying to do some, weird stuff with Gargs and Mazgul and stuff, and it worked one game, but it just wasn't
Actually, I
enough
think
on
it,
the other
it could
one.
work all the games, but for some reason you tried to expand instead of just laming a lot and went
Yeah,
to
because
Worms.
because it's a strategy I have actually played just only a couple times or something, so I didn't know how to react. I was just trying something different because I thought if I played standard, I would lose. Because I have been losing like 90% of my games against Night Elf. And I mean, Bliss is pretty decent, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
I feel
he is.
I need some time to focus on the matchup and really get my shit together because I don't really know how to play it at all.
How come that is? Like when you have guys like Happy, that is just beating like everyone. Like especially like he's meeting Foggy in like almost all of these finals and he's winning every time. Why not just study what he does? Because it's very similar, right, from game to game. It's like this 50 push that he likes to do against expands and stuff. So why not study him a lot? And
It's a
then
matter of time, basically. Like
okay,
right now, I don't have so much time. For example, on January, I had like full vacation
yeah.
and I was playing a lot and I improved so much in all four matchups. But then last month, I started studies again, and for some reason, my matchup against Night Elf kept getting worse. And I just need to get again like 1 month vacation or something, and then I can focus on it and get better on the matchup.
Actually, I think players like X-Lord and Vortex strategically are much better than Happy. So he outplays people by his micro and miracle micro. I mean, look at Foggy. He always does very good strategy-wise, always has a good advantage, but after all, he loses in the battle because of the micro. So, and playing against other guys like Insuperable won him with some kind of rush ghoul. Terror won him one game on this your invitational tournament, and he said he did decent other games, so it was close. So I think it's Happy the one who needs to learn something from other undeads, not other undeads from Happy.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
but
think that's saying too much, but Happy has always been really bad strategically. It's one of the reasons he wasn't as successful in StarCraft 2, because you couldn't get away with just playing one strategy in every game. But in Warcraft 3, with huge micro like he has, you can do it.
X-Lord, do you agree?
yeah, like I don't. Well, Happy has his superior micro, and he knows that for sure. So he always adapts like small things, except for example when he played against Foggy, and especially the matchup Happy and Foggy is developing so much. Like every best of 5 or best of 3 is changing, and Happy is adapting to Foggy, and Foggy is adapting to Happy. So it's really cool to see. And Happy knows, I think that, for example, Dreadlord expansion might work sometimes, but it's like a coin flip or sometimes like a gamble, you know. And then he rather will rely on his micro and just play it standard.
All right. I think that's about it here with this one. Actually, okay, first I wanted to talk to you, Vortex. I didn't put specifically a topic for this, but you recently joined the team, and your brother did as well to play in the Spanish EPS, which I mentioned during the intro. Is there anything more you can tell us about this? Like, what's the team exactly? Is it a multi-gaming? I hadn't heard necessarily about them before. And then, how much is your brother gonna practice for
Right.
EPS?
So, well, my brother didn't actually join the team. He's just gonna play the ESL
Oh,
Masters
okay.
Spain. I joined myself. I mean, it in Spain, it's like a pretty big team right now. Like it participates, I think, in pretty much every big league in the other games, like ESL Master, Counter Strike, and things like that. So, I mean, basically, when the ESL Master Spain was about to start, like I was offered to join. I think it was a pretty good offer considering what Warcraft 3 is right now. And I just so went with it. I think it's a pretty cool team, like good atmosphere, and it's actually pretty big in Spain.
Yeah.
And about my brother, I mean, I don't think right now I can tell you that he's not practicing too much, but I mean, he's always been a tryhard, and I'm pretty sure when the tournament starts, he's gonna want to do well for sure.
That sounds pretty good. I'm excited to see some Lossy front. I can't wait to get my Archmage getting sliced down by his Blade Master like old times. It's gonna feel like a deja vu. All right, let's move on to next topic then, which is gonna be Sword Puppy bans. So I will read through the post and then we can all chime in on this topic. It feels like we're getting new drama every week nowadays. Like we're major esports guys. We've got drama all the time. Terror last week, Sword Puppy now. Like, who's next? Who's next week? So, Dust Gaming posted on Twitter at Team Dust, Sword Puppy banned indefinitely from Dust Gaming events. Hi, very long post incoming, but I will try to make it as clear and brief as possible while you failed in that. It's very long. On January 3rd, 2020, Dust League was having its first qualifier for Season 2. Link to the bracket can be found here. Salt Puppy was participating in a qualifier which was being streamed by multiple people, including ToDGaming and other Warcraft 3 community streamers. During a game of Salt Puppy vs Divine, it came to our attention that Salt Puppy was doing some pretty suspicious actions, specifically on Last Refuge, where he seemed to be holding back his acolyte from being scouted by Divine's skeleton to deter him, knowing that there was an expansion cross-map. Here's a video showing the suspicious play in more detail, broken down by a few players. When we asked Salt Puppy, he confirmed straight up that he had the stream open simply to listen to what casters were saying about him, which is obviously unacceptable because he's listening to the stream. Given the evidence with the acolyte alone, it was concluded he was obviously watching the stream as well. Screenshots of him admitting to admins Carson and Bidou, and my initial punishments of 6 months. I thought of making a post to clarify the ban to the community. However, Sword Puppy was removed from his team Hyperion, and I'd already created a Reddit post fully admitting to cheating and accepting his ban, which is linked here. Post has since been deleted. We'll get to that further in this post. Overall, at the time, he seemed to accept the punishment, which you could argue was lenient. However, not more than 3 weeks into his ban, he messaged me, Bidou on Discord, asking for an early pardon. I thought that was initially a super weird thing to ask, and I quickly nipped it in the bud with this screenshot provided here. After that, I didn't think much of it, just assumed we'd see him back in action on July 4th, until ESL announced their ANZ circuits, and I glanced at the qualifiers list and saw Salt Puppy's name as a registered participant. I then checked the Reddit post and saw that he had deleted his original post of admitting to the stream cheating. Strangely convenient timing before a big circuit qualifier. I guess that's what I get for not making my own post and outing him right there and then. Him deleting his Reddit post and trying to participate in another cup was a huge slap in the face to us as organizers, and to the Warcraft 3 community to try and pretend like nothing happened. I had recently sent a support ticket to ESL explaining all this, and I'm awaiting their response. Whatever other organizers choose to do is their own business and out of my control. However, we will be banning Salt Puppy indefinitely from all ToDGaming run events for his consciously deceitful actions in undermining our original ruling. A ruling that was discussed with multiple players and organizers from the Warcraft 3 community. To think you can cheat and get away with it without any consequences is absurd and not something we're willing to tolerate. TLDR, Salt Puppy stream cheated in a qualifier for Dust League, admitted to cheating and received a 6 months ban, then he tried to remove all the evidence and sign up for another cup despite the ban being in place. Anders, let's start with you. Any thoughts?
I was surprised that it came up again because I remember when it kind of broke, and then I was like, oh, when I saw it today, I was confused because I thought he did something again, but apparently that's not what happened. He did stream cheat for one event, as I understand it, and then was banned. What I don't understand is that the Dust admins are upset because Sword Puppy tried to sign up for another tournament that's not run by Dust. Do I understand that correctly? Yeah. But did it say anything? How the ban was just from Dust events, as far as I understand.
Yeah, but like their point is that if he cheated, he should be banned from more than just Dust event. He should be banned from most events, right? Like if you cheat in one tournament, it doesn't mean you only get banned from that tournament. And also the way he went about it, basically trying to fly under the radar is what bothers them, I assume. Where like he deleted his initial apology and he hoped that nobody would ever talk about it so that he could play in the ANZ qualifier, which I feel like they have a valid point personally.
Yeah, I agree. I think when he posted the apology, I thought, okay, he owned up to the problem, and as far as I've understood, he's a quite all right guy. As far as he's never flamed anybody or something, and he admitted to what he had done. So it was strange that he deleted it. But then I don't know. I think the Dust guys, if they ban you from their cup, I mean, fine, you don't play their cup, but nothing said. Nobody said anything about playing any other tournaments. So I don't know. I think he should be all right with playing other tournaments, not just Dust. Just avoid the Dust tournament and respect their rules. Their rules.
Well, it's an additional thing. Kevin in chat just thought that when he admitted that he cheated, then he said he will not gonna participate in other tournaments too, and then he deleted this post. So it's kind of
Okay. But okay, because I'm thinking like if the punishment is you're not supposed to play our tournament, and then he goes to play other tournaments, then that's not what the punishment was about.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Extol, did you follow this at all?
No, I just read it with you the first time. Well, if he admits to like cheating in any tournament, he should be banned probably for several months from any tournament also, and not just from one specific tournament he was playing at. And if he wouldn't have admitted, that's another question then. But if it's the case that it's 100% clear that he cheated and he admitted, then he probably should get a ban from all tournaments for, I don't know, 6 months or so.
So now I believe that ToDGaming is trying to reach out to like ESL and like talk to them about this to see if they can make the ban uphold as well. So I guess you're gonna agree that this is justified. Did you follow the terror? What happened, or like what do you think about the both sentences? Like first, terror was banned for 6 months, I believe, from the Back to Warcraft organized events, and this was also initially for 6 months. Do you agree with those time lengths for a ban?
It's hard to say. I mean, I don't remember exactly what he said. I only know something about the nuke in Russia. But I don't know. Even sometimes you say stupid shit on stream. Maybe you regret it afterwards. And I don't think that 6 months of a ban is right here. And yeah.
For which? For both?
For terror.
Ah, okay. How long would you have said?
1 to 2 months or so.
Yeah.
But I say cheating is higher to be punished higher than some insults for me. Yeah. In my opinion.
Vortex?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I was playing when the whole thing with Pabi happened. But like the first thing I thought when I saw that is, didn't the stream have any delay at all?
I don't think so.
That's actually pretty weird, and it's something you should always do, I think, when organizing a tournament.
Yeah.
But then I think like it's really different than just tilting up and saying some dumb shit like Trevor said, right? Like, how can you punish cheating and saying dumb shit on your stream the same way? It's something I don't understand. Also, I feel like when you catch someone cheating, you never know if he has cheated before. Like, it's the one time you bust him, but maybe he has been doing it for a long time. So I'm generally kind of in favor of just punishing cheaters hardly, but I think it's a whole different story with what happened with Tero.
Yeah, and like, so what do you think about Team Dust saying that he should be banned also from other tournaments? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. It's a different tournament. If it happened only once, then maybe he should have the chance to play other tournaments. But I don't really know. It's something ESL will have to decide. I have no clue what's the best thing to do there.
Yeah. And Neutron, what do you think of like all these bans, like 6 months for this initially for Sword Puppy, and then now indefinite ban because of the way he deleted?
First, about Sword Puppy, I just read the topic like 1 day ago or something, and I thought about it a little, and I think it's super ridiculous situation because when he got caught, he said like, I was listening what streamers are saying about me or something. So it was so stupid excuse. And then he admitted in cheating, and I think cheaters should be punished hard there. And but I don't get the point of sending letters to all the organizations about it. I think that what you should do, you should make it public, and other organizers, they should just think themselves what to do with it. So they made it public, and I think that's it. So
Yeah. No, but initially what he said here in this was that he didn't make it public because Salt Puppy posted his own apology. So he figured that that was making it public and that tournament organizers would know from that.
okay. Yeah,
But not
probably,
everybody reads Reddit, I guess. Like an ESL probably like missed it or didn't care, one of the two. So then because of that, that kind of flew under the radar, and then Salt Puppy just signed up for the other tournaments.
yeah. I think banning him from all the Dust tournaments, it's maybe fair. I mean, yeah, lifetime ban is a hard thing, but it's only for Dust tournaments. I think other organizers maybe will ban him for half a year or 1 year or something, and it's gonna be okay. I don't think you should punish someone for life for things like this, and but he definitely deserves some. And another topic about Terror. I know Terror. I met him a couple of times, and he always was super nice guy. We were talking on Discord, playing custom games, and he always was nice and a good guy. And I know TGW also. That's the guy who he played against and who got a death win. So only after that, Terror got mad and said all this shit. And this TGW is a completely piece of shit guy. I mean, he's super annoying, and he always tries to play on your nerves, you know.
Yeah.
So he is something different. I think he deserved not only these words, but I think Terror did a huge mistake that he made it like not about the single person. It would be okay. I mean, you can trash talk like someone in particular like you want. But he said something about overall Russians and stuff. And even if I'm Russian, but I don't think Terror thinks this way. You know, he was really mad when he said that.
Yeah.
Plus, he said it in Polish on his own stream. It was not on the big audience, and some Russians just hated him for some reason, maybe, and they translated it, posted in every Russian public groups, so everybody found out about this. And he got banned for half a year, and for all Russian tournaments for 1 year. I'm thinking super unfair. I mean, yes, he definitely deserves some punishment, and it can't be like you can say whatever you want and then get away with it. But half a year, seriously? I mean,
Well, a full year is worse too from Russian tournaments.
yeah, I know, but I mean, it's half a year. It's a huge, huge term. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
you will miss like all the tournaments, huge ones. There are a lot of tournaments now, and it's like he can go just he can get retired. You know, it's
Yeah.
super unfair. I think when he apologized, he did the right thing, but you can't just like forget about the things he said after the apology. But 6 months, I don't think it's appropriate time to ban him. Maybe 1-2 months would be enough, or maybe some even less. Maybe he should like apologize on video, post it somewhere. Plus, he hosted a good tournament,
Yeah.
which we'll talk later. I think yes.
Yeah. He
So
did on
I
Reddit
support
post.
him. Yeah, and I hope that community will get a little easy on him, and after that, maybe guys from Back to Warcraft who banned him in the first place gonna take a bit easy on him. Fuck, 6 months, it's hard.
Yeah, he did post an apology on Twitter initially, which I'm not sure everybody saw. I'm sure like Back to Warcraft saw it, but the thing is, it wasn't just the comment about Russia. By the way, you know there was some homophobic and xenophobic. I
You
don't even
know,
know how to say these words, but yeah, like there was a lot of bad words in there for sure, which I think is what like everybody judges differently how impactful or hurtful a word can be, right? Like some people,
Yeah,
you just call them a name, they don't care at all. Some other people, they're gonna think you're like their enemy for life if you say something. So it's like the same here. The thing is, we're in 2020. There is some words that for sure you cannot say, and he said some of them on his stream. Even just looking past the like nuke Russia and whatever, like all of that, which is also unacceptable. So like, yeah, I think that's also we needed to add that because we just talk about it just now as if we're all
yeah.
on the
Well,
side of people that think like words don't mean that much necessarily and they should go easier on him. But yeah, what he said for sure was bad, right?
yeah, I know there are a couple of players like Corrupt, for example, who always behave like he is complete retard. But Terror, he was a professional player for many years, and only one mistake, and he got banned like he's the usual trash talk motherfucker or something like this. So, and you know how world changed for the last, like, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years. There are a lot of words you can't say, and it's got more strict every year. So, I mean, if you would say that 10 years ago, people maybe just laugh and forget it in a week. But right now, there are a lot of restrictions. You can say that, you can say this, and it's getting worse every year. So I mean, people got banned for some stupid simple words on the Twitch. So I don't think the world goes the right policy. So you just need to think about everything. Yeah, I know it's not good when you just say everything what's on your mind. You have some filters, but it's getting like super strict, and I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think like I mentioned in the last show as well, sometimes it's a little bit of a cultural stuff and like certain countries, they will take it more seriously and stuff, certain people. But I completely agree that there is some words that shouldn't be said. Maybe Anders, you can weigh in. I think Sweden is like more usually on the side of like you guys don't like having like certain words and stuff used also, right? Like
Yeah.
I remember when Cass had to play against Madelisk, and then he tried to go for some Twitter banter and he wrote something like he used the rape word
Yeah.
before playing against a girl, and that was like it made it to the newspaper in Sweden and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like pretty bad. So
Yeah, we're quite liberal here. I see. I think also in Sweden, where we come from, it's. I think this idea of the PK, politically correct society. That's kind of. I think that's what Neutron are referring to. You're putting rules to what you can express and so on. That's. It's quite big here in Sweden, for good or worse. I don't know. Me personally, I think this instance with terror is more about sending a message of where we want to be as a community. I think whether or not it's 6 months or the amount of time you get banned, it's more or less not so. It's more about sending a strong enough message to like, okay, this is where we draw the line. You can go this, but you can't go beyond this. And I think the xenophobic, the homophobic things. I know, for example, Neo is really, he has strong opinions about that. He feels strongly about, respecting people of all types of personalities. And I think this is, on that regard, you could, like Neutron said, I think, sure, you could flame like trash talk peoples or whatever, but, not just generalistic overall comments about the nationality or sexuality or something. That's just, you shouldn't cross that line. And I think that's, even if it's politically correct or not, I don't know, but that's what I think. I think that's a line you shouldn't cross.
yeah. Do you think so? Then you say he was kind of made an example out of with a 6 months ban?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's like, I think it's all about sending a message. I think it's not just, it's for the guys in the community, but we're also part of something bigger. I mean, we want to get sponsored and we want to get events and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we have to be, if you want to get household, we got to clean our act up. We can't have people talking like this. It has to be more, it has to be cleaner, so to speak. We can't have this internet culture.
Yeah.
And actually, Todd, I would like to add something. In real world, if you do something wrong, you go to court, and the judge decides what to do with you. Not like in 5 seconds after he listened to what you did. So there are a lot of things which takes into account, like your previous behavior, the positive things you made for the community and stuff. But I think we maybe need something like this. I mean, if so, it should not be considered only his like this situation, but the all previous. So he was a good guy for all the times, and he did one mistake, and nobody even think 5 minutes. He just got banned for. I think maybe he needs some like 200 hours community works or something like that.
Yeah, you know what I think also? Like, he said all that thing on his personal stream. If you don't like it, then don't watch his stream. Or, I mean, he said awful stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then don't watch his stream. Or if you think he goes against the Twitch rules or whatever, then maybe even report his stream. But it's not like he went into the tournament chat and said all that shit there. So I think banning him from the tournament, I mean, I don't really understand. If he goes into the stream of the official stream in the tournament and he says all that damn shit, then for sure. But he's saying it on his personal stream, like
Yeah.
6 months ban for that in the tournament seems, I don't know, a bit too much for me.
You don't consider a personal stream to be like public record because like anybody can watch it?
I mean, it is, but like I think the consequences should be on his personal stream, like
Yeah.
maybe his stream getting reported or just people stopping watching him. But I think punishing him with 6 months of no tournaments is too much, especially when most tournaments are being run by
Yeah.
Back to Warcraft.
I feel like it's a new topic where like everybody has different opinions and think differently about it. Like for me, I always thought like kind of like you, like what you said on stream, is kind of like for your stream and like doesn't really matter outside. But recently I've had some stuff happen that made me realize that whatever I say on stream, people will always know. Like I was making fun of Xlord, like yesterday he knew about it. Like I was saying like Mosquito, whatever. And recently I played against a player, like for example, from who plays like with Team France or whatever, and then his manager messaged me. He's like, "Why are you flaming him?" I'm like, "I didn't write anything in game." And he's like, "Yeah, you called him a tryhard piece of shit. That's because he kept clicking on my Archmage with his demon with boots." So it's something I will regularly say on my stream. And apparently he was pretty offended that I say that. And I'm like, this is pretty mild. Like, I don't think you should be. And also, I didn't even say to him in game, which to me makes a difference. If you say it on your stream, you're kind of like, just speaking out loud, entertaining. But I feel like we're reaching a point where everybody will always know what you say about them on your stream, and they care about it. Xlord also, actually, another thing. I met him on NetEase, and he's beating me, and he's telling me, get out of my game. So I'm like, what is your problem? Why are you doing this? And he was like, well, if you beat me, you always say on your stream, get the fuck out of my game. And I'm like, yeah, but I didn't say it to you in game. He's like, well, it's the same. So he was telling me to get out of the game now, like while beating me, which I think is like a super, super BM. But apparently we're reaching a time now where, again, like everybody knows what you will say about them on stream. So I don't know, Xlord, maybe you can chime in on this.
Well, for me personally, it's the same. If I write it to you directly in the game or say on the stream and get the fuck out of my game or something, for me it's the same basically. But also a nice comparison to get back to the terror topic. If you insult the referee, I think in German football you get like 2 to 4 play days suspension, which is like basically 4 weeks, I would say. And compared it to 6 months, it's like, how many weeks are those? And it's quite a bit of time he got the suspension for. I think it's over the top.
Yeah. Okay. So this
Like in American system, you can be paroled like for good behavior in 1 month or something. Maybe it can be applied to terror also.
And then the problem is, for me, in my opinion, is that every tournament nowadays almost is organized by Back to Warcraft and their staff. So let's say it's 80% of their staff making the tournaments, and he's banned all of them. So he almost can't play, I don't know, maybe some noob cups or so. And it's also a big topic. So since this suspension has such a big impact for such a long time, there should be like another way to decide whether he gets a ban.
Yeah, some
I mean,
committee or something, you think?
yeah, something like
And
that.
also because of one moment he got tilted. Like he's been a good guy for so many months, playing every cap and always being okay. And because he gets tilted one moment and says some dumb shit, he's already punished for every single tournament in 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like
I-
we're understanding because we all had some tilt, right? But just because you tilt doesn't mean you can obviously snap. Like I agree that it should matter that he's been a good guy before, which is why
Yeah,
it makes
but
me sad that I feel is being made an example of, because I feel like it's the wrong guy to pick for that, you know?
yes, and
And
he should be punished. That's for sure. But I just think like 2 months would be more than enough.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
actually,
I think I'm not sure I agree with you guys on this. I think 6 months is fine, especially like look at other types of like people that have cheated. For example, Blade who did some betting, or like Romantic who did match fixing and stuff. They got 1 year, and now Terror starts talking about he says really bad stuff about a lot of different types of groups of stuff and stuff, more of he does. I don't know. Then I think in that context, talking that type of stuff, especially if you want to, present a nice product to other sponsors and stuff, then I think 6 months is okay.
but I don't know if it's comparable to like if you're cheating. Like it's cheating is basically if you're playing a professional tournament to win money is a fraud. So you gain an advantage or you want to get an economical advantage by fraud. So in my opinion, this is way higher to classify than a normal insult or high insult or bad insult.
and
And his
also,
actions didn't really affect the tournament at all. He was saying it on his personal stream. I don't think they should be so mad about it.
yeah.
I mean, everyone should be mad, right? Because he said really awful things. But I don't think the tournament should think it's their responsibility to punish him that way.
And we're
And
in
Todd,
quarantine. 6 months is gonna feel like 10, 20 years. It'd be
Yes,
pretty
yes.
bad.
Plus, he said it in Polish also. So
Yeah. But it definitely, I can see the point where like everything that we say on our streams is, public record now. Like I understand, like before I always thought like whatever I say. So now, I guess if I win against someone and I do a celebration where I say get the fuck out of my game, I guess I must be ready that they might do something similar. I think that doing it in game is like different personally. I think it's next level BM. And Xlord even admitted he's only doing it to piss me off, which worked. So good job on that. But yeah. So actually, I guess like I was gonna talk about this, but every single tournament organizers out there gets to decide for themselves how long they want to ban Terra for, if they want to ban him. And for Back to Warcraft, that was 6 months. For Russian tournaments, I guess the good game community, right? That's 1 year. So there's the question: what does ESL do if they ban him? Like how long do they ban him for? And personally, I organize tournaments as well. I decided to only ban him from my next tournament, because my tournaments are fucking dope. So it's a big punishment to be banned for one of them already. Like, you guys know that. So yeah, so he won't take part in my next tournaments, which is actually the next topic. Well, not so much precise topic, but I just wanted to talk about it very briefly. So I've been working on a format that will involve a lot of 2-on-2s. I wanted to do a 2-on-2 tournament, and so far this is what I've come up with. I'll show you guys. So right there, this will be a 2-on-2, some sort of, I don't know what to call it, just team league, tag team, where you have 3 players per team, and then they play a best of 3 against each other lineups like this, and then you have a forced starting map. What do you guys think about that? I think that was suggested by Neutron, perhaps. Previously, like I was talking about doing a super tag team or something like that, and then you were like, why not do 2-on-2 with like 3 players per team instead of 4?
yeah, me and Spiral suggested something similar. So I
Yeah.
don't remember which one, but yeah, I think it's super cool to do it like this. A lot of games and a lot of pairs. Pretty interesting.
so I understood it correctly. So it's 3 maps and 3 times best of 1, 2, and 2.
No, 3 times best of 3, but the starting maps are forced. So it's like you have 3 maps like in W3 all days. So like for example, the first map is Twisted Meadows, and then the team with Knopf, Thorzain, and Lil DC would put Knopf, Thorzain, and then the team with X-Lord, Anti, and 1 would put X-Lord, Anti on this one. And then on Turtle Rock, you'd have Lil DC, Thorzain versus 1 and X-Lord, and then Lost Temple would be Knopf, Lil DC versus 1, Anti. This is just an example. Obviously, like Lost Temple won't be in the map pool, I'm assuming, but maybe. So I think that'd be pretty fun because we'd see a lot of 2-on-2, and then as far as format goes, I don't think single bracket is very fair. So in my opinion, it's either going to be double brackets, or right now my leading idea will be to do 2 groups where there is either 5 or 6 teams per group, and everybody plays everybody. And then we take the rankings, and then the first of group A plays against the second of group B in semis, for example.
That
And
would
vice
be
versa.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but it will be a lot of matches. So some players that just care about like money and playing few matches, they will not be interested. I don't know if most pro gamers will be interested in that format. Maybe it's too many games, but I mean, we're in fucking quarantine, so we're gonna stay busy anyway. So I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about having a lot of games to play potentially in Neutron, for example, with this
I
format?
think we have a lot of one-on-one games right now, and not much tournaments with 2v2. So I think one tournament with a lot of 2v2 games would be absolutely fit, and people gonna love it to watch and to play it. Me personally, I'm looking forward for this tournament, and really looking forward to play a lot of games. So yeah, I like it.
X-Lord, would you play with this team?
Not with this team, but Kappa. I don't know. It's a lot of games then, actually. It will take a lot of time. That's true. And you also like bind a lot of players for a certain time. And if the prize money, I guess, is not that high, certain players won't be playing, I guess.
But
And what about a system like if you have a team of 2 people or 3 people, and then 2 1-on-1s and 1 2-on-2, something like that? But it's also a lot of games then. Basically,
Yeah, there is already a lot of one-on-one that we already see so many times. And the thing that a lot of players underestimate is that I think like so many of you stream, right? This is great content for streaming. When I organize a tournament, I encourage players to stream themselves. It's very good content for them to actually stream and show and stuff. So I think that's really good. I saw Vortex, you started streaming as well. I think that'd be good content. People would be interested in that.
Yeah, for sure. I actually really like that 2v2 is slowly coming back a bit. Though I'm a bit sad that there is no ladder or anything, because right now it's like impossible to practice any 2v2 at all.
Yeah.
And that's like my only concern, that the level of the games might not be the highest because you can only practice in custom games, right?
Well, there's
It's
NetEase.
gonna be fun anyway.
Yeah, NetEase 2-on-2 is pretty good.
And also the maps.
Yeah.
I signed up for the Terror 2v2, where we come back to later, I guess.
Yeah.
And took a look at the maps, and I was like, what the fuck are those maps? I never heard of them. So that's a big topic, because you basically have to invest some hours to look at the maps.
Yeah,
Just bring back the old Avalanche.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
The human,
Yeah.
the blood mage, fast expo into like triple gold mine. Yeah, those were the times. Actually, speaking of maps, I really wanted to do a tournament that involved new maps. So I think this one might involve some of like the maps that are not currently part of the map pool, and I think that's going to be pretty cool.
I think this looks this looks really cool. I'm loving what you're doing, Todd. Like overall with your invitationals, this tournament looks amazing, and it really warms my heart when you say you encourage people to stream it, to be able to get content on their own stream. I think what you're doing is amazing. Like
Thanks,
overall,
man.
with all this, it's really, really cool.
Well, you need to talk to Thorzain and tell him to play and stream.
Yeah, okay, I'll see what I can do. But this is super cool. But this would be an invitational tournament also. So
Here's the thing: I'm having a hard time gauging how many teams and players would want to play in it. So it really depends. Like, I think I might do something where I organize a tournament like this, and I invite a bunch of people myself, and I tell what my email is where people want to apply. And then I see who applies and what's their skill, and then we see how many people are there. But it's very hard because when I invite the top European players, I need to already tell them, like the full schedule, the prize pool, everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell like exactly in details. Like I need to do like a ballpark and stuff. So I need to take all this.
Would you be up to doing a qualifier or something like that for the tournaments like this?
A qualifier with this format is tough. That's like so many matches. I don't even know how I will run it. Like when I organize tournaments, usually I handle everything like this in a drive file. So like using challenge and stuff maybe would be possible, but it's very tricky with like all the admin work and everything. And like map vetoes, people would have like 1,000 questions. My brain would explode.
Yeah.
So I will think about all of the options. Like this is not definitive, but for now it's kind of like what I'm leaning towards organizing, and I think it's going to be a pretty good. And Terror won't be in it.
No,
What
but
about
this
the
is
3x3 tournament? Is that the next step?
3v3. Actually, I was
Yeah.
thinking about doing this one, but every clan war is 3 2v2s, and then if it's 2-1, there is a 3v3, and then if it's 2-2, there is a 1v1 ace match.
I think that would be awesome. Like 3-3 was really cool. Like the weird
think?
strategy you would see there with the weird feats into Masgarg and things like that.
Yeah.
You
But-
really got some pretty crazy games on that mod.
But I think if I do that, then it must be not like a round robin with groups, because then it's too many games for sure. Like
Yeah,
pros
for sure.
won't really like that.
I think 3v3 is messy, you know. I don't really like the format. I think 2 players is enough for team.
Like, do you follow AOE at all? Age of Empires?
No, never.
No.
There's basically games in tournaments with 3v3 and 4v4 as well, and they're completely awesome. Especially because they are messy and you get to see different stuff than from the just normal 1v1 games you see all the time.
I sometimes play free-for-all tournaments, and I love it. I played a lot, and I love the format, but never liked like 3v3 or something.
X-Lord, what do you think about 3v3?
Could be nice. The problem is, I guess, to get those teams.
Yeah. Who would you want to play with in a tournament like this, the 2v2 one?
I will pick Foggy and Happy, probably.
Do you think they would want to play with you?
Of course, everyone. No, I don't know. But
Well, actually, out of all the people that I messaged so far, the only two that declined pretty much immediately was Foggy and Happy. So I don't think they will want to play with you.
But imagine playing with One and Anti. Like 3 undeads? Come on.
Yeah, you guys are like
three
coiling each
Pitlock,
other's death knight. It's like the perfect bromance. Like nothing's dying. Like
coil on each other. Oh my god. I don't know.
yes, maybe some of you guys can play other races. All right. Yeah, that's it for the tournament that I'm thinking about organizing soon. I already have $600+ that I got on Matcherino by funding past the Todd Invitational. So we already got a pretty big starting prize pool, and I think I might aim to try and get above 1K plus. So it's good actually payouts, which is why I was thinking about doing some league style where there's a lot of matches, because I think the money is really worth it, and it's content to stream as well. All right, let's move on to the Cup news, I think is next. But that was technically kind of Cup news, but whatever. So Terror, that we were just talking about, is organizing a tournament to try and make up for his past mistakes. I think I've seen both. I've seen there was $200, and I've seen there was $300. So I'm not sure which one it is, but there is either $200 or $300. It's a 2v2 tournament. It's going to be hosted on Challenge this coming Friday. He had initially actually put it on the Saturday, and I was like, what are you doing? It's Global Clan Cup. You can't do that. Move it to Friday. So he did a poll, and then he moved it to Friday. I think that's going to be pretty cool, and it's very nice of him to do that. I mean, he's banned from like almost every tournament, and he's like, well, I felt bad about what I did, and I'm going to organize a tournament. Like, maybe Neutron was onto something. He's going to be liberated on parole by Back to Warcraft
It's a
for
first
good
step.
behavior.
First good step for the parole, yeah.
Are you guys going to play this, X-Lord?
Yeah, I'm already signed up with Blade.
Yeah, I signed up too.
X-Lord plus Blade. I don't think the world is ready for this team.
Oh, it is.
Did you give him instructions, like lay off the bottle before 10 p.m. or like?
That's okay. As I said, drink as much as you can. Will be long night, bro.
And Neutron, you're playing with Spiral, right?
Try to guess the team.
Yeah, I saw it earlier. I was checking it. Season Spiral right there. Vortex?
Spirale.
Vortex, are you playing?
Yeah, I didn't check in yet, but I don't know. I might try to convince my brother to play with me.
Yeah.
We were playing some 2v2s like
Ooh, that
on
would be
Classic
sick.
BNet like 2 years ago or something, doing pretty good. Even on Arena back in the day, but like right now I haven't
Orc plus
played any
Undead, I
2v2
assume, right?
or Gundam, yeah. I mean, it's not really like the most common
Yeah, yeah.
match, I guess, but Yeah, I would like to play it, but I don't know yet.
Yeah. Well, usually I don't play it that like 2v2 tournaments and stuff. I mean, there isn't that many of them, but out of the blue, yesterday, Sonic reached out to me and he's like, "Do you want to play this tournament?" And I was like, "That sounds like I will lose my mind." So I was like, "You know what? Let's do it." And then he signed us up. Wait for this. He signed us up as mom and dad. So I'm gonna play with Sonic on Friday. And I'm like, I might rage quit the stream. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be crazy. He's gonna provide some mad entertainment. Any chance you might play, Anders?
We'll see. I think me and Scoot are working almost full time in trying to convince our Swedish friends to play everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lobby hard to try to get Star Shaped and Thorzain to sign up because Thorzain, as they're called, is a crazy team. And I think they would have a strong chance. And we have a lot of good players like Doak and Frar is another strong one, and Vildisi and Knoff and so on. So in an ideal scenario, we would get at least three really competitive Swedish teams. We'll see if I can make that happen. I will work
in real life. You're gonna get one.
Exactly, maybe half a team. I don't know. We'll see. But this Corona thing is working really in our favor, so I might have some. I might. My chances are better than ever.
Do you know, is Thorzain still working?
Yeah. I think he was. Yes, I think he's working with at the infectious disease department.
Oh wow,
now.
so he's actually pretty busy.
Yeah, he was transferred to that one. I think.
Okay.
But I might be wrong. But he's working. But he's also playing. He played today or yesterday, so he's trying to stay in shape.
Okay. Okay. Next one. What do we have? The Pandaria Solo League Season 1, which is a tournament organized for French-speaking people, wherever they're from, Switzerland, France, Belgium, Canada. In this case, even a German was in, Kevin, who can speak French, and is from Germany. The Night Elf player was playing in it. So it was a round-robin format where did Neutron go? Okay, well, I guess the cameras are going to be broken for a bit here. We'll see if Neutron comes back in a second. Otherwise, I'll create a duplicate. But yeah, round-robin format where everybody played everybody. Krav finished first over Side, actually, with a one-map difference. Krav was 21-4, Side was 21-5. And I think Krav beat Side 2-1 in their direct encounters. So they both were already in the semifinals. I guess it didn't really change much. And then from this from this round one match in the bracket, we had Dai and Kevin beat Benson and Niffy. And then the two favorites that had finished first and second, Side and Krav, won their matches against Kevin and Dai. And then Side in the finals took revenge over Krav and won 3-1. I guess you guys probably didn't catch those games. But it was a pretty fun tournament. Did you guys catch any?
No, I did not, but I think in general, I am really starting to fall in love with French Warcraft 3 because I think you Frenchies have an amazing thing going for you. You had 4 teams sign up for the W3IL season.
Yeah.
And you have like this tournament right here. You got the EPS thing going. I think you got a lot of good, strong players. And I think Krav especially is the guy to look out for. He's getting better by every moment, I think. I'm really excited about him, and I would have loved to have a ESL Pro Tour stop, for example, in France. I think that would be an amazing tournament. I think a lot of people would show up. So French Warcraft is really cool right now.
Yeah.
And with you in the forefront as well, Todd, I think you could be the banner man for that.
I can be the poster boy for anything.
Don't say that, but I think like overall it's a really cool thing what France got going right now. And Side is also a really cool guy.
He's a great
really
streamer
strong.
as well.
Yeah, great streamer. Seems like a super nice guy, down to earth, and just super nice overall. Super good as well. And yeah, France is really cool. I think I'm looking forward to see what they can do in the future overall. I think, yeah.
I play against Side this Friday fight night.
Oh, cool.
It's not announced yet, is it?
Yeah, it is right now. Maybe
there we go, a world premiere yet again. Every time
No.
Neutron drops by, he drops a world news.
No, actually, Side had tweeted about it, so I think.
Okay.
I remember Kevin said that Side was too good for fight night for a little while there.
Yeah, they didn't want to invite him because there would be a super long streak of winnings and nobody can take him down. So they decided to save him for the last moment, you know.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
Yeah.
the matchup then?
Yeah, and Mr. Beardo is coming for me. Yeah, I feel like matchup is pretty fine. It's like 50-50.
Yeah? Okay. All right.
I caught one game of the final of Grab against Side, and it was like typical side game with both handeds playing fast expansion and just harassing each other. I think it was with Lich, strangely enough, that we didn't see Dreadlord. Maybe he
Yeah.
did it some game right side, but I saw like a lot of fast expansions going on and stuff, and I was like, I can't watch this.
Vortex, I'm curious, would you ever be interested in playing in the Fight Night?
In Fight Night?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know what's that.
Okay,
I
Fight
mean, I
Night is
haven't
like
been playing for too much, right?
it's like a
So,
King of the Hill show match. Basically, well, like the winner obviously stays and then plays the next show match and stuff. And they've had a lot of them. Like Hitman won like 4 in a row or something, and then Neutron finally beat him in the last one. So now Neutron's gonna return and he plays Side next. If you got invited to
That
play
sounds
this,
pretty
would you
cool.
be interested?
I actually
guess.
I played. I won 3 in a row, and then Hitman won 4 in a row, and it was like the fight of the highest king, the longest kings
Yeah.
between us. Yeah.
Hitman beat you, or
No, I lost to Death Note when I was making fun on the. I underestimated him a little, and I
What does that mean?
promised organizers to, so I'm gonna play a different hero every game, and I kept the promise. But my Panda first and Pit Lord first did not work, and I lost some standard game and got owned. So,
but I mean,
yeah.
you and I have just played Demon once, Warden, Keeper.
Yeah. Like you were
Why do you
saying
need to
that,
play
like I'm gonna
Panda?
play one different hero every game. I'm like, yeah, that's Night Elf. You probably won like 4-0, right? Like,
You probably would have
Yeah.
anyway.
It's
So
I mean it's impossible for humans, for example, but yeah, for Night Elf it's okay. But anyway, I lost, and I thought he is worse than he played.
X-Lord, would you be interested in playing in the Fight Night?
Probably yes. I don't know how the ping is if you have to play against a player from the US.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad, yeah. Yeah, it depends on the schedule. Like not every Friday night or Saturday night I can play.
Do you
It's
still have to work right now?
Well, now I'm on vacation until next week.
actually it's super late. It's 1 a.m. CET time, and it's 2 times a month, so it's every second weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Sorry, by the way, Vortex, if I almost forgot you. The fact that I can't see you is makes it a little bit difficult.
Actually, we can pretend that he has a webcam, but he had his lights turned off. So
I don't know. It could be
he's
also.
sitting somewhere in the dark.
It could be also Spiral. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
just the next time you invite me, I will make sure I have one by then.
Nice. All right. Global Clan Cup number 2. So that was last Saturday, the cup that replaces Rising Star Cup. Did you guys play in this? I guess Neutron, you didn't.
Yeah, because I was on my way home or something like this.
X-Law, did you play this?
No, I'm above 2.1k elo, so I can't.
That's right. Yeah. Vortex? You also.
What?
Yeah, I played, of course.
Oh, you played? Where are you?
X-Lord
I mean,
banned
I
from
played
this
against you,
tournament?
right?
Oh,
I played
yeah,
against you,
that's
but I
right.
had to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
there.
That was the one. Yeah, so you made it to the quarter and then your internet was lagging. Or like, oh, actually, Binet, you said.
I
What's
was
going on?
hoping that after the first rounds it would get better, but it was only getting worse and worse. And when I was playing against you, it was literally like 3 spikes every second.
But it's
or even
like
worse. Is that-
since the new patch and it's all the time, or like what's going on? Like,
I mean, it's super weird. It only happens to certain Spanish people that are playing on, I mean, that have the same provider. And it happens after 4 p.m.
So,
and only on Warcraft 3. So it's like super weird. I don't know if it has to do with the routing of the
Yeah.
game or something. I have no clue, but it's super weird. But it's happening to a lot of people in Spain. and just with Warcraft 3.
But you have that every day, or is it just sometimes?
Yeah, every day. I literally I literally can play between 4 and 10 p.m.
Well, maybe it's related to a lot of people being home right now, and then
I
browsing
guess we got
browsing
saturated
websites
then.
where you need a lot of bandwidth because HD video is loading.
Yeah. I don't really know, but it's super weird, and
Yeah.
it's also really annoying because the ESL Masters is starting next week, and we play at 7 p.m., which is like the worst possible time.
Well, they might have to change it if everybody in the country is lagging at these times, right?
Yeah, they might.
That would be nice. Yeah, actually, I made it to the semi in this one before losing to Hawk. I'm kind of shit at Breaker versus Breaker, or like a human mirror in general, so...
Oh, actually, you took a map.
Yeah. Actually, I expanded. I was like, screw this breaker style, and so I expanded, and then I held on for a long time. But some interesting results. Why was it Happy playing this one?
No, it's because it's the
Oh
ELO
yeah, okay, I keep forgetting.
cap, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this. Like,
Yeah, so the most high-rated players can't participate, like Happy, Foggy, and Xword.
And Blades, I think.
yeah, I'm finding it increasingly harder to really get excited about happy finals and stuff these days. So this feels like a breath of fresh air, so to speak. And
Yeah.
I'm loving all this. I mean, there was an Australian guy named Fish who beat both Jay Dark and Paladin. I don't know who that guy is. Cool to see some new guy. And
Who the fuck is Paladin? That's the real question.
Who is Paladin and J Dark?
No, but I think it's this really cool. It's a really cool idea to get some other matches on stream, and it gets the good coverage also with Battle of Warcraft. So
Yeah.
really awesome.
And Spiral has had some pretty good results, actually. He made back-to-back finals in the GGG's Cup, where he lost to Hawk, and now he made the finals again, and he lost to Hawk again. So, I mean, no shame losing to Hawk, but Spiral's been has been getting a lot of deep runs, and he seems to be doing very well.
He seemed to have some problem a month ago or something. I felt like he was not really achieving as much as he used to, or like falling off a little bit, but he's really made a strong comeback, I think.
Yeah.
He plays sick. I saw his games on the Clan War. He played against Johnny, and he played really, really good. I think he's on his top shape right now.
Yeah.
And humans are just imbalanced against orcs.
Kappa. X-Lord, you've had to play Spiral a few times recently. I saw you in brackets and like having some trouble. What's happening?
You want me to comment on that?
Sure.
Well, first of all, it's always best of one. And second, I think once it was in the ESL Cup, where he won it. I don't exactly remember the map, but it was best of one. That's shitty. And on the GGG's Cup, I lost to him because it is because of the map, because it's Tarina Stand last week it was, and went pretty bad. Yes.
Did he play well, or?
We will talk about the balance later, I think.
I love it. Brought it out. Yeah, Vortex actually, like, have you tried reaching out for your or to your ISP? Because like it's obviously these cups are super important. Like you're playing every one of them, so if this lag continues, like you won't even be able to keep on playing in tournaments. So like, do you know what's going on?
Yeah, but from what I've read, it happens to a lot of people. I think it just because of the corona thing, it just gets like super saturated, and that, and probably the fact that there's something wrong with Warcraft 3 routing or something. Like there's only one server, right, for Warcraft 3, I think, and it's on Netherlands maybe.
But you didn't call your ISP?
No, I didn't. But I mean,
what are you doing, man? If my internet lagged even for 1 second, I'm on the phone yelling at these guys.
But if it was just me, yeah, for sure. But if everyone is lagging, like, I don't think there's anything I can do. And I've already read in many places that it happens to a lot of people at this time. But
just
yeah, it's super
Germany.
annoying because I can play like any cup.
And not everybody can have the privilege like Todd to live in Germany, in a great country.
I was mostly talking about France. In Germany, I actually haven't had that much internet troubles. But in France, boy, oh boy, I've made a lot of phone calls back in the day. ESL Open Cup number 8 we're back to normalcy. Anybody could enter, and yeah, we had a happy Foggy Hawk top 3 with Happy winning again. And I met him in the quarterfinals. That was not very fun. I think I killed 0 units. So great experience. And Xlord, you lost to Sheik.
Yeah.
Did he
Well,
play? Did he play well? Do you want to talk about balance on this one?
Well, he won 2-0 against me. He played Lich on the first map on Concealed Hill and started to play Mass Gargoyles and Mass Worms. I played shitty that one. Could or should actually have won it. But after 25 minutes, I had to tap out. And the second map was on
Amazonia.
and yeah, he abused like the strat on
Race.
Amazonia to make a lot of ghouls at the start if you know that your opponent is playing DK first and one tag Zig. So he abused me with a lot of ghouls and rushed me right away. And now that... And afterwards I saw Happy against Sheik, and Happy already knew, and he started to play Lich first against Sheik. So I gotta start playing it too, I guess.
But wasn't the final super cool though? Happy versus Foggy was one of those games where Foggy actually got close to beating him.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
watch
saw
it because I was
that.
salty as fuck. So I went to play some poker.
Yeah, well, I watched the games. They were pretty good, but
Yeah,
on
really good games.
some maps, Happy had like bad luck. He found on Echo, I think, 3 or 4 rings.
Did
Yeah,
Foggy do like his special strat with Mass Archers or?
yeah, he expanded, yeah, on Echo.
Like he was doing a lot of Demon Naga bottom and just Mass Archer all the time, and it's actually really annoying to deal with it.
It's real annoying to play Happy strategy against it, but if you see like Ente killed him with this just ghouls abuse, and it's easy. You just need to forget about Fins and just go heavy on ghouls and rush them. Yeah.
You mean even with the fast DK and fast tech, or?
Yeah. So you go fast DK, you see Mass Archers, and you just keep the Fins completely.
Yeah,
But even then, it's hard to deal with. Like you really need to hit the timing on his expansion or even cancel it. Otherwise, it's really hard.
yeah, and
even
but when do you know that he's going for Mass Archer? He always builds like 4 to 5 archers.
When you see the 7s or 6 Archer, you
I think he
understand it.
delays Hunter's Hall for like a long time, right?
I
So you
mean,
can just scout for
anyway,
it.
you can make 1-2 fins, but then you switch back to the ghouls and hit with 50 timing with Dark Ranger, and it's super hard to defend the timing push. I mean, at that time, the Night Elf has same 50 foot army, and it's easy to defend against fins because they basically do 0 damage to the army of Night Elf, but ghouls just raping archers, and it's super hard to defend in Expo.
Yeah, basically seeing the Happy games against Foggy, and I also talked a little bit to Happy about the matchup against Night Elf. So basically, you see every time Happy is relying so hard on the items for the Lich. Like if he gets 2 claws on the Lich, it's basically completely rape you get. And the next game he finds like 2 rings and no claws, then it's getting closer and closer between them. So it's really dependent on what items Happy finds.
Yeah, I think Foggy played this one really good. So it was not too many stupid mistakes by him, and basically overall he played really decent. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys catch my game on Amazonia against Happy? I found Cloak of Shadows and Gauntlet of Strength.
When you
And
asked him for a game,
yeah, I made a joke. I said, "Can we regame? I found bad items." And I was so surprised because I was like, "He's never gonna reply." And then he wrote, "Are you serious?" So I was like, "No." And then I was like, "Unless you are." All right. Next one is the Back to Warcraft Korean Invitational. Chemico won over Lowlight, and then Soin and Focus in 3rd and 4th place. Are we surprised by those results? Human actually winning something finally in a 4-player tournament?
I was actually really surprised that Lolaya didn't win it. Like I had been playing against him in Netis and overall watching his games there, and he just seemed to be like super strong. Like he had something like 90% win rate with over 100 games. I thought he would win it for sure, but Chamico seems to be really good also.
What? You're surprised that Night Elf losing to human? I think it's common in our days.
Cap.
Yeah, but I thought Lolite was like 10
No, you
times
can
better
do
than
anything.
Charmico, but
If
apparently I was
human
wrong.
is a bit better than Todd, you can't lose.
Like,
You know.
I saw the game. I saw the game on LR between Shimiko and Lolite. I think it was where Lolite Shimiko made an MK expansion, and he was losing the entire game, like everything. And then suddenly he has like 70 supply with 3-1 heroes or something against 4-5-5 heroes, and he still wins.
Yeah, human
Yeah,
power.
I think. But let's talk about the imbalance later.
I really like the
Actually,
undead representation on the tournament, by the way. Really good
actually, I did
undead
not
games
see
to
these
improve.
games, but now I'm gonna watch it for sure.
Yeah, actually, like, so Back to Warcraft did crowdfunding for this, and it went very well. I think they had like 1,700, so they decided to cap this tournament at 1,000. Personally, I think if you're gonna have 1,000 in a tournament, you could definitely make it like 8 players and stuff. But obviously, like, everybody is free to run the tournaments how they want to. But yeah, I think having 8 players here would have been quite a bit better, because then you could have had Sock, Lucifer, and Remind, and then maybe one more than that. And I think that would have been pretty cool. And at least one undead, you know, like, if you play, like, everybody plays a main race in Warcraft 3, and then if you watch a tournament and your race is not even represented, it's like come on,
I would have
guys.
really liked to see Lucifer there. Like, I've been watching his stream lately, and he plays pretty well in most matchups.
Yeah.
Like, Orcs would have probably destroyed him, but I think he would have given really cool matchups against Night Elves and humans.
Yeah. All right. What is next? Okay, so we've had a series of show matches organized by a streamer called Fire Al, or also known on Twitch as A Pillow of Winds. And the first one that happened was Insuperable versus Lado, where he put $1,000.
Yeah,
So the
super
same as the
strange.
Korean Invitational, $1,000, 800 for the winner, 200 for second place, and Insuperable was able to defeat Lado 3-0 and won $800.
No surprise.
Big surprise, I would say. Huge.
Guys, are you underestimating Lado a little bit, or?
Kappa?
Is that Demon Hunter Firelord I'm seeing in one game?
Well, I mean, Lado is a fun guy, seems like on the streams, but it's like Mr. Winner of Night Elf.
Oh my god.
But I think it's interesting because every once in a while, like there is one of these. There comes along a guy who just seems to have a lot of money he wants to spend on stuff. Like a couple of months ago, I remember it was some Hanif or something, some Arabian guy who wanted to throw money at Grubby and for him to arrange show matches and stuff.
Yeah.
And there is other guys just you know, comes in a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of money, you know, or arranges some weird stuff for their own entertainment, it seems, and then leaves the scene. I'm hoping this guy isn't one of those guys. I hope he's here to stay, because I think if he's really into Warcraft and wants to do something good, he could do really cool stuff. He has a strange way of setting up matches, I think. Happy versus Mr. Winner, for example, it's a really strange one. But yeah, it's cool to see people with money getting involved.
Yeah. And this guy's pretty cool. Like, he's streaming daily, and he also donated $500 on the crowdfunding of the Todd's Invitational. So basically,
cool.
out of the starting 600 for my next tournaments, 500 came from him, which was very,
Yeah,
very nice to do.
that's really great to see such show matches, but I'm a little bit envious, you know, when I see like show match Happy against Mr. Winner and Insuperable against the female Mr. Winner. So it's like, where are my games against 7 years old guy?
True.
And actually, Happy is playing against Mr. Winner right now. That's being broadcast on this channel, the A Pillow of Wins 1. They're playing
Who's
9
winning?
maps, and Happy is up 7-0 right now. And I saw some of the games earlier. He was playing Necromancers, like, on ghouls with Unholy Frenzy, and just doing really well. But apparently, the way this matchup was made was A Pillow of Winds talked to Mr. Winner, and he was like, do you want to play a show match? And who do you want to play against? And Mr. Winner was like, Happy. And so
He wanted to finish quickly. Just
I
take
don't
the
know,
money
man. Like,
and run.
he wanted a challenge. He wanted to play against the best, and he got the best.
Probably double income for Happy. First the $1,000 from the guy, and then all the challenges he's playing against Mr. Winner probably.
Actually, yeah, these games are going on right now. The last 2 maps, I guess, in this show match, and like I said, you can find it on Twitch at A Pillow of Wins. We can tune in actually real quick, see what's up with that. What's going on in the current game?
I don't think it's allowed to show it on the Twitch.
Just briefly, man. Come on, you're gonna report me?
I mean, you better use the Pornhub to show such things.
Okay, first of all, stop leaving the call and rejoining because I have to move the cameras again. Give your daughter her hat back so she's gonna leave you alone. And then number 3, shut up. Okay. So yeah, the game is going on right now on the stream that I just mentioned. If you guys want to check that out, same time. Happy is playing Crypt Lord first in that game. Is it even allowed to win with this? I don't
Against Mr. Winner, yeah.
know. Stop hating.
It's a good hero.
He's pretty good. Okay, so that's it for the cup news. Let's move on to next topic. It is Pad's W3 Champions ladder. I don't know if you guys have experience with it yet, but it's been pretty good. I've started playing quite a bit on it. Neutron, I guess you just came back to Russia. Have you had the
Yeah,
opportunity?
I have not tested it yet.
Anders?
Yeah, I've tested it. It's really cool. I mean, I think everybody has been praising Pad for the longest time, and I think Pad is, if there would ever be a Mount Rushmore of Warcraft people, he's up there. So I think what he's able to do, he's basically a magician at this point. And he's making it so easy. Like, it's the most seamless type of installation I've ever seen. Like, I literally had the ladder installed and ready to play in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was shocked actually. Because like
it's crazy.
I finished the stream and I was like, I want to try this ladder. How hard is it to install? And people are like, very easy in chat. I'm like, very easy. Yeah, right. And then I go on the website. I press 2 clicks. It's already installed. And it's like auto-updating. I'm like, this made me happy, but at the same time, it makes me so mad at Blizzard for not having a ladder.
Yeah.
This guy created a ladder in like a few days. And now in the few days that it's been live, 2,000... Well, actually, that's... Yeah, 2,155 players.
Seriously?
I've played in this ladder. And there's been
2,000?
thousands and thousands of games played already. I think that there was a stat somewhere. I don't know where it is exactly, but there's been so many games played already.
That's great.
And Hitman is rank 1 as he should be on any ladder, I suppose.
Yeah, because the guy has no life, just play.
But for servers wise, I think it works with that. Like, you kind of prioritize the server that you're on. So I don't think that the NA guys are playing necessarily a lot with the Europeans, but I could be wrong. Like, I haven't met any NA guys, as far as I can tell, on the ladder so far.
I think that changed like yesterday or something. Before that, you could get them on American servers.
Yeah.
Like, there was one guy complaining that, I don't know if it was Insub was abusing it or something.
Is that better, you think?
Better than what?
Is it better to not be able to meet the NA guys on the NA server, or would you prefer playing them sometimes with bad ping?
Nah, I think it's like there's only one reason to play this instead of NetEase, and that's playing with good ping.
Yeah.
So if I want to play this, I want to have 50 ping every game.
Have you
Not
tried
200.
this?
Yeah, I played like 50 games or something on stream. It's pretty cool. Like, I mean, personally, I will probably prioritize NetEase when I want to practice hard. But it's really cool, like when you get tilted with the ping or something, you can go back there, play a couple games. And like every tier 2 European player is playing there right now, and even some tier 1, so it's actually pretty interesting.
Well, you lost to Demigod? Oh no, you won.
No, I won. I've done like 50 games or something. I don't know how many I lost.
You lost to
6
Luber.
or 7. Yeah, I lost to Luber. I think it was today, actually, yeah.
Oh, you played Good Game Wolf. You know him? Really old school French
Wasn't he
player.
like a French native player, right?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
sick, actually. He's like getting back in the game a little bit, playing a bunch here and there. And
I mean, I don't remember the game, but
yeah.
I know I played him a couple times.
Wait, what? We were supposed to have played. Oh, you met. Or you? It must have been a bug. So there's this guy. Apparently, like, I think there is an account that's like merged with mine. So like my account personally, I have
Sure, Todd.
I have
Sure.
Shut up. I have 41 and 6 with human, and I have 0-7 with undead, but I've never queued with undead ever. So apparently there is a Todd undead that's ruining my stats because he went 0 and 7. Feels bad.
Yeah,
man.
sure. You probably try to play undead and then you face the reality of
You
how
guys-
hard it is
You
to
guys
play
are
this race.
D-bags.
It wouldn't wonder me if it is PCG.
Yeah. Kappa. Did you play in this, X-Lord?
Yeah, I did. It's really good.
What's your account?
Just normal X slot, I think.
21 and 7?
Yeah, it's also somebody playing with my account.
Oh, you lost to Insub?
Nice one.
and I won against Insub with human, yeah.
Well, you lost to him too on 10.
Yeah,
And then
I
you lost
played-
to Enna.
I played.
You lost to
human.
Enna.
I played human.
You lost to Enna.
Yeah,
It was someone else playing with Ena's account.
probably.
Oh my god. Where do you play human on this account?
I was tilted after Netties losing to Orcs, you know.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Like when you play with 200 MS, like how big of a handicap do you think it is? Because then after that, I feel like now that I've played on this, I'm like, this is like almost like a different game. Like
Dude.
you can actually micro when you play with like 15 MS.
Dude,
Actually, I
I played.
think 200 is completely okay. I'm fine with it.
With
It-
100, you miss
it's
one
not-
coil because of 200 ping, and you pretty much lost the fight.
Yeah,
No,
of
I mean,
course.
I'm not joking. 200 is okay for Night Elf. It's okay. Just a click and add some units from the production, and it's okay.
X-Law doesn't seem to agree.
I played like 3 games in a row against Focus. Imagine every game he played Blade Master. Every time I use Dust, he's standing inside the creep and waiting, because every time he gets the creep and the item. I have no chance to get it. No way.
Well, would that make any difference on 15 ping?
Yeah, I think so.
You still can walk through units last I checked, so
Yeah. Anyway, and you see it on Happy Stream also. He's like the creep has like 200 HP, and he's already clicking all the time on the creep. So maybe he could get the item. Just the reason to click all the time on the
Yeah.
creep like an idiot. So
with
Have you
200
tried to
MS,
play it against Orc on Trenas with 200 ping, where basically every camp has like claws and like the other thing and circlets and stuff? Like you literally cannot contest a single item, and then the Blade Master have 5 items and you have 0.
yeah, and Focus abuses this to the fullest. He's like waiting a little bit outside. He knows you are creeping, and then he sees, okay, almost done the creep. He puts up the speed scroll and then runs into the creep, gets the creep, and gets the item.
sounds like a
It's
fun
funny to
time.
play.
Sounds like my games against Undead. I also
What is it?
And then I hear-
Wine in Town Hall?
Yeah, and then I hear Spiral winning against Focus with human, like
That's because ping doesn't matter when you press clap.
and slow.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what's next. Actually, no, yeah. To talk a little bit more about W3 Champions, I'm like so happy that we have this, and I think it's gonna keep on growing. We already have over 2K players. I think more players are gonna hear about this. They're gonna install it, and I think eventually there is a chance that Foggy, Happy, Hawk, all the best European players are playing on this, and I think that the ladder will be super competitive because we got so many good European players. There is also good NA players, but I don't think we will be playing with them because of ping issues. Ideally, like if there was an East server, that could happen, but I'm looking forward to see this ladder grow, and I think it's going to become even better in the future.
You know what could be a good idea, that if Pat or I don't know, somebody would make a crowdfunding for like a ladder season, like the first place get some prize money,
That's
the
a
top
great
10,
idea.
and something like this, so everybody would play it.
People gonna play it like crazy, you know. Or
Yeah.
no custom games, just play ladder like it was like in. I
Like
think
our life
in
depends on
StarCraft
it.
2, right? There was some tournaments based on the ladder ratings, or I'm mistaken.
Yeah,
2007, there was a ladder tournament, I remember. Like Lucifron was really high up there, and Knopf too. I think.
Good
Yeah,
times.
2008, I think, or 2009, maybe.
Was it that late? Okay. Yeah.
Maybe 2008, I think, was the first one, right?
Ah, okay. Yeah.
I think it ran for 3 years straight. 2008, 9, and 10, maybe.
basically you had to play ladder to qualify for the regional BlizzCon thingy,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much price do you think there would have to be, and how long would a season last? 3 months, 2 months, 1 month?
No, I think not.
Short is good, like
Yeah,
1
short, yeah.
or 2. Yeah.
3 weeks maybe.
3 weeks,
Yeah.
just 3 weeks. That's a little bit
Yeah.
short.
Yeah, and you don't need big prize money, like $10 for first place, and people gonna play it.
Kappa?
Like,
Well, Happy's not gonna play for that.
The bad thing about 3 weeks is if for whatever reason you are out of home for like 1 week or 2 weeks, you completely miss on it.
Yeah, but
Maybe
we're all
1
home,
month and a half or
bro.
something. I mean, right now for sure, yeah. I'm talking maybe in the future.
Yeah. Okay. That's a very good idea, actually. Who suggested that?
Me.
But
Extol making
Now give me fucking props for it, man.
Extol making good suggestions. I think for sure you heard that from somebody else before and stole that idea. There's no fucking way that came from you.
Todd,
The thing is-
didn't you guys talk about that last town hall? Like you wasn't it someone who suggested it in the chat?
yeah, he
The
stole
Duro?
it from the last one.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Enders.
Good job, Extol. Good bag. All right, let's go to next topic. It's gonna be the balance. Oh God, here we go. We've
Here
been
we go,
saving up for
Exlord.
this. We've been saving up. Who wants to go first, boys?
Xlord, go for it.
Let's start slowly. Maybe Enders first, and then.
Oh no, I'm really excited about hearing you guys talk about this. I know I am in presence of greatness, so I'm not, and I know Todd gets enough of backseats gamers trying to
Oh my God.
really trying to know what's up, even though they have no clue. And I don't want to be one of those guys. So I know better than to speak about stuff I don't really have a clue about. So I'm really gonna try to lean back in hearing this poetry that you guys are gonna turn into.
To be honest, I hope Blizzard keeps Undead versus Human like the same forever, because I enjoyed so much to watch Todd play and get tilted. It's like
Fuck you, man.
it's like the best show in the world. I rather would watch Todd than UFC. I don't know,
Yeah,
McGregor.
you
or
can just
Khabib.
pay per view, and people gonna love it.
Yeah, just go Todd, go pay per view, and then
Like Todd Rage episode 1.
holy shit, that's
Guys,
Did
this
you
is not the
guys-
topic. Get back on the topic. Shut up. All right, Voltex.
Did you guys, by the way,
But do you
see-
really think?
Sorry,
Okay.
Anders, what's up?
Yeah, did you guys see Infi's video where he imitated Todd?
no.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
link it
that's
to you
right.
guys. This is something that you might interest you guys. I'm gonna link it in the Discord here. You're gonna have to use sound on this one.
Is there subtitles, or how will we know what he says?
No, you will know.
For me, it's not working right now for some reason.
套的怎么会生气呢？套的生不生气都不打机器的。套的刚刚应该是 bullshit fucking 硬板那条。
看现在的荧光棒。
好啦，
Well, that's far from Todd.
肯定是这样的呀。
I was expecting much worse. I was expecting way worse. Like that's just. Yeah,
That's just-
that was casual.
That's Todd getting warm up. First game against Undead.
Okay, Voltex balance. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. But like honestly, I always wondered if do you really think Undead is that OP against Human, or is it just something that you say maybe when you get tilted after losing against
Have you
Undead,
watched
or-
my stream before?
Yeah, a
So
couple
why are
times.
you
that's
asking
why
these
I
stupid
asked.
questions? Of course, I think it's fucking broken. What the fuck is that? All right, but anyway,
Honestly, I think
it's
Todd
not
is
my turn
just
to talk.
a
Like
funny guy.
just give us your breakdown of each matchup individually, except mirror, obviously, unless you want to, and then tell
Honestly,
us your ranking of races.
I never whine about balance, but like I really think Undead is the worst race. And I know it sounds weird because Happy is winning everything. But like you cannot judge like the balance of the game just because of how good Happy does, because he would do as well with any other race, I think.
That's one
And
of the best
honestly-
quotes I've ever heard. Sorry, but I have to interrupt. But like, I never
Undead
whine about
against Orc?
balance, but Undead is the best. Is the worst race. What the fuck?
I think Undead is the
But
most
it's
piece
true,
of
I
shit
mean,
race, you know?
I'm just trying to be objective here, and Undead is the worst race by far. Like against good orcs, you can actually not win at all. I'm talking if you're gonna play in a tournament against a top Korean orc or Chinese orc, I think it's impossible for anyone that's not happy to win. Even happy is struggling against them. Then I think against human, which everyone says Undead is human against Undead is imbalance against human. I just don't see that imbalance anywhere. I think the matchup is pretty even. And Undead against Night Elf is, I think, is super imbalanced for the Night Elf. I think neutral will agree surely. No, I think it's kind of balanced, but overall it's a good balance. But I think the matchup against Orc is just too weak that there's no really other Undead matchup that makes up for it.
And so what's your ranking of races from weakest to best?
I mean, worst is Undead, and then the other three are pretty much even, I would say.
I
mean,
never
I'm
went
being
about
honest,
balance,
like,
but what I do, I'll tell you guys about how Undead's the weakest race against.
I don't whine about balance because I don't think I'm that good. Like, if I lose, I think I'm doing a lot of mistakes. But if you ask for my opinion by watching tournaments and stuff, when it's not happy playing, I think it's the worst.
But when he's happy, when Happy's playing, like some people on this talk show have argued that you should only try and talk about balance if you're gonna talk about the ultimate balance by talking about the best players. What about then?
I don't know. I just think happy would be as good with any other race.
Yeah, but it's not the question. It's like if you take all of the best players and their results and what we see, what do you think about balance then? How does Undead do then at the highest level?
I think it's still the worst, honestly. I really do. It's
That's not the answer Todd wants to hear, man.
Alright. Fuck this guy. X-Lord, go next. You're gonna disappoint me, Todd.
So, if I see the matchups played in the tournaments, I also think regarding Undead, I feel like Orc versus Undead is super broken, like it was since ever Warcraft 3 came out. It's super broken, and I think
Undead? I did not hear.
Yeah, also Orc is much better than Undead in the matchup. Super favorite, like 70-30%, I would say. And Orc also has a lot of strategies they can play. Yeah, of course, people say you can play Dreadlord or Ghouls or something, but it's cheesy. I tried it on ladder and also getting focus. I had super early games, killing Blade Master and Grunts and so on, and he still won. And it wasn't because of the ping, but just because of the strategy. So Undead versus Night Elf, I think it's pretty even. Should be 50-50 in my opinion. And Undead versus Human, Todd, now hold back. It's 50-50 in my opinion. But in terms of the state of the matchup, it's stupid because Undead has to break the expansion from the Human with all power. So that's the reason because that's the reason why everyone makes basically the happy push. You can't expand, and the Human has to defend. And if the Human doesn't defend, he loses. So it's
Yeah, but you can't defend it.
Of course you can.
How?
Like I can't tell you, but I'm losing to Humans on Netties.
Yeah, with 200 MS and like they have 0.
Yeah, but I'm playing against Sok, and Sok is playing really good against it, and all other Humans are also playing really good. Just decision-wise, yeah, I don't know. And I also felt like you played against Happy really good on Northern Isles, but made a few mistakes, and that cost you the game because, like, also Happy said like if he loses one feed, he loses like 20% win chance or something, and it's true. So if you get one fiend, it's really hard for the Undead basically to come back if the Human makes the right decisions.
So what's your ranking?
Let me talk about the other matchups. Like, I think Human versus Orc is 50-50, but Human versus Night Elf is
Why the
super
fuck are you
broke.
talking about Human against Orc? You're
Human-
an Undead player.
Human-
Shut the fuck. We don't...
Human versus Night Elf is super broken.
Mate.
Like, it's almost as broken as Orc versus Undead, I would say. It's the same, basically. But yeah, to rank the races, I think Undead is the worst, Orc third, Night Elf second, Human first.
I was afraid he might do it, and he did it. Good job. Neutron.
Well, let's start from non-human matches. Like I think Night Elf against Undead is 50-50. Against Orcs is still 50-50. So against human, yeah, it's kind of like 35-65 or 40-60. It's really hard to play against human. I mean, against undeads, even if I play against one of the best, I know what to do. I know how game should look like, and if I don't make big mistakes, I usually do pretty well. But against humans, sometimes I think that I play really good, but I end up losing anyway. Yeah, it's always room for him to improve, and I'm not playing perfect, so I'm not whining to balance. There are a lot of situations where I could play much better, so it's up to me to improve. But it's much harder to play against human than against other races. Also, I played human myself sometimes, but I don't think actually undead has a huge favor in this matchup against human. I'm pretty comfortable to play human against undead, and I won some custom games against side, for example.
Well, I don't know if we should take those games too much into value. You know, like Xlord is talking about human balance, but then he's losing to Enna on ladder. Like, I mean, it's like, come on, mate. You lost the right to talk about human with the moment you lost to Enna.
I will see you on ladder tonight, Todd.
Okay, I'm here. I'm gonna continue. So I think human against undead is like a little bit broken for undead side. Looking at the high level games, it's really stupid to see how undead pushes human expansion, and all human do is just trying to defend. And if you do one little mistake and lose your archimage or something, you just die. And yeah, I think it's hard for on the higher level.
But you can see it the other way around. Undead has to push all the time, and if you do one mistake and you lose maybe one fiend early game because it gets surrounded, or your
Well,
leech or whatever, then you 100%
so
lose.
you-
the
How
game.
the
you
fuck
have-
could you make a mistake? You got Death Coil and
Vortex,
Honoriora.
you have only one fucking fiend. How can you lose it? You need to be like completely idiot to lose a unit if you have only
Because
one.
you are forced to push onto his tower. If the arcane gets out and you have not made any
I mean,
damage,
look,
you are out of the game.
Look, you push
So
on
you get
human.
close to him, then he surrounds. Have you played against Sog or Chamik or something? They don't miss a single surround. You get close once to shoot the tower, you get your fiend surrounded.
By the way,
Oh.
Todd, I saw your surround attempt on Happy's Fiend on Northern Isles. Oh my god. Like, this was your win right there, and you didn't take
You
it.
think killing a Fiend is gonna win me the game?
Basically, yes.
Well,
You
Do you
guys,
think
like-
do you think when he does the push with the pit lords, and
Todd,
he has
Todd.
like destroyers and everything, you think having one more Fiend is what's gonna, or one less Fiend is what's gonna make me win the game?
Todd, no, if you kill a fiend, you like have a great achievement. You can just leave the game, so it's already victory for you.
you unlock achievement in game.
Actually,
Like, kill Happy's Fiend.
if we touch on this topic, I think we need to say that undead is super bullshit race because they play every fucking matchup is the same heroes, same units, so it's super easy to practice. You don't need to practice like 3 heroes, different type of units, expansions. They just play one stupid strategy and push everyone at 50 foot, everyone. So it's a completely bullshit race for stupid motherfuckers.
Like Xlord.
I'm waiting for the Kappa.
And so, what did you say your ranking of races?
Not yet. I think human is super ahead, number 1 right now. Then I would say 3 other races are like somewhere close.
Yep.
Yeah, but you must rank them.
Okay, level. Fuck. The second place is undead, and the third, fourth orc and night elf.
Which third? Orc?
Oh no, I would say night elf. Yeah, and orcs are the weakest.
Orc is the weakest race.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Maybe I'm
Who
mistaken.
won Anaheim, by the way? I don't remember right now. Was it an undead, Happy, or?
I don't think you need to count Happy. He's a completely fifth race like Moon was. You can't judge based on only one player.
I know
So you can
that's what I
judge
meant. Like,
No, he was
humans
saying
based
that
on
Night Elf won the biggest, like the latest big tournament offline.
nobody judges humans based on Mr. Winner games. So don't judge Happy Undead Race by.
No, they
no,
they judged
what I
him on
meant
fucking
is,
Infi's game, even though he's the only one winning against Undead. What are you on about? Well, Anaheim was won by Night Elf. That's what Vortex is saying, I think. Like, Night Elf won the last big tournament, and you're putting them last in the ranking.
Yeah, I don't put it last. I think
third.
it's third. But look, it's every tournament is unique. You can't. There were no good orcs and good like. I mean, Moon was just lucky that he didn't meet Happy before the final, or Lolite, or Foggy, or maybe Hawk. So I think all of them could win him. So
He met
he
Hawk.
was just super lucky.
He met and he won against Hawk.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you watch the fucking tournament? What are you?
I was casting it. You remember?
Yeah.
But nobody cared, bro.
Yeah. Well, nobody cares about your race ranking. I can tell you that. Anders, do you still play a good amount of the game? I'm sure you watch a lot. Do you want to chime in as well on the?
I think you guys are on a roll here. I don't want to ruin the fun here. You
Yeah.
guys are. I am really, listening. Everybody makes so many good points here, and I'm loving all these conversations. This is some really high level stuff. So I don't want to drag it down. I love to be like to play the role of the ignorant viewer who's the noob guy. And I'm thinking to myself when I'm hearing all this, like, for example, wasn't like did I understand this correctly? Didn't human like Night Elf struggle versus human for the longest time, and then Night Elf starting to incorporate more and more warden plays, and now I think the matchup is starting to get more balanced. Is that the correct way of viewing it, or?
It depends how far back we're going. If we're going to the Keeper patch, I don't think there are too many problems then, right? Because you made Keeper, Alchemist, a couple Giants, and then you pissed all over the human army or on your own Giants at the same time, and like human just died. You brought some Wisp. It's like, oh, yes, enough Fire and Priest. Let me just bring 7 Wisp and just win the game. Yeah. And then the final of WGL was Foggy against Moon, and it was a shit show. And then
Neto was complaining that Undead has like one strategy to learn only, and they've been playing 2 years with Keeper Alchemist every matchup.
2 years?
Well, it was less than 2
really
years.
It
was less than 2 years, but to us it felt like 20 years. I can tell you that. All those games against Neutron were like, he comes to my side of the map and then 7 Entangle kills 7 units. I'm like, this is great. This feels like a real-time strategy game. Like I can really count on this fucking hero.
But you played like the worst human in the world. You just went to my Keeper and died. I don't know why. So other humans just stay and wait for priests, and then
they die later on anyway, because you're creeping the whole map.
Because I'm beast. I'm the beast.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you were the beast on that patch, that's for sure. After that, not so much.
I noticed it. I'm gonna have to be careful not to put more wood on the fire here, because I don't know what will happen.
That's funny. Like when you start speaking, I'm like, you could just be the guy that's like trying to stir shit
but
up.
One more word, and I'm gonna start speaking Polish.
So, I guess that's it with balance. Let's just take some questions from the chat. I didn't make a thread this time on social media, so if you guys got some good and relevant questions in the chat that you want to ask us, go ahead and we'll pick some good ones and try and answer them. There's been some good ones actually last week. I kind of like that, the interaction with the chat. Let's see. Save Orcas asked what.
Why Todd is always angry? The first question.
It's in my blood. Save Orcast asked what buffs for ghouls could be made with which other races can cope with, if any, especially Night Elves. Assume that in addition to this buff, there will be some nerfs to undead. This is for X-Lord.
Why you do this to me? So basically, remove the fucking cannibalism upgrade and get me some damage and HP upgrade, like Berserkers do, right?
You want to have a new upgrade that you have to get?
Yeah, on tier 2.
Yeah,
for hit points.
I don't know what numbers
for damage.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, come up with something. He asked the question.
300 HP and 50 damage. You want to hear that?
Yeah, for how much gold and wood?
1 gold and 1 wood.
All right.
No, Todd,
You're useless, man.
you need to add Steam pack for ghouls. Like it would be fun. They lose half HP, but
Yeah.
get super fast.
There is.
and,
It's called Unholy Frenzy.
But guys, you would think that Frenzy on tier 2 would be too strong? Vortex don't
Nervous
laugh.
half.
You don't think so? Just imagine pushing an idol on the Expo on tier 2 with Frenzy.
I'm trying to test the boundaries of Todd, right?
Just a nervous laugh.
I
Was
mean,
the
I
best
would be up
answer.
for it, for sure.
Todd, would you pay the price to have Frenzy on tier 2? To not get pushed by fiends and the Fire Lord?
Well, what does it matter? I would die anyway to whatever it is. So
I see.
I would put Frenzy on Aboms, honestly.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I think that would be a good addition to the game.
okay. Let me see. Todd, what about a tournament similar to Shardcraft Kings? So for those of you who don't know, Shardcraft Kings is a King of the Hill, but it's like a best of one map, and it's like live King of the Hill. So you have like 10 players ready to play, and then one of them play, and then every time he wins, he stays, and then new players come in, and then every map counts for like some amount of money. I think those are pretty expensive, to be honest. I feel like if I'm gonna do a tournament with like a couple $100 or like $1,000, I would rather do like a full tournament or a league as opposed to a King of the Hill. Like this kind of King of the Hills, like if you have the money for it, I think it can be fun, but I definitely think there can be more interesting content in Warcraft, with the funding that we have. Guys, if you see any question.
Actually, most of questions about the balance. I think you guys can ask anything,
Alabastrovas asked, Vortex, how do you compare your career SC2 versus Warcraft 3? How fun versus earnings compare? SC2 has better infrastructure and more tournaments, but didn't you miss Warcraft 3 mechanics?
I mean, I think Warcraft 3 is funnier, right? That's why I play Warcraft 3, but StarCraft 2 is like so professional. Like, you have to be very, very consistent if you want to be a top player. Like, pro gamers in StarCraft 2 play like 12 hours a day or something. It's just so crazy how good you need to be and how much you need to be on top of your mechanics to be good there. So I don't think I can do that anymore, honestly. And of course, my career in StarCraft 2 was so much better, but at one point I just dropped esports because it wasn't motivating, right? Like right now, I'm only playing Warcraft 3 because the game is fun, not because I want to get back into esports and be competitive again.
Yeah, but Warcraft is super easy game, so if you play for fun, you can anyway be one of the best. I mean, that's how it happened to me when the Skipper patch came out. I just played for 1 month just for fun, and then end up one of the best player in the Europe. So it's shit game. I mean, StarCraft 2, I played it too for 2 years maybe, and it was super hard. And you can't miss 2-3 weeks of practicing and just come and win someone like you can in Warcraft.
Yeah, I remember taking like 1 week break sometimes, and then I needed like 2 months of practice to get back on good shape and stuff. That's probably why I wasn't very consistent overall, I guess. I mean, even though I was for a bit, I guess, in Wings of Liberty.
Tesco added, what changes could be made to Undead to make the race less monotonous? I think everybody agrees Undead shouldn't have one strat when the other races have many, which they should in an RTS. I feel like this is exaggerated though, because like in Mirror, you go like Lich first. There's situations where you can go Dreadlord first and stuff. So like I guess for the most part you're playing Death Knight and Fiends, but yeah, what
but
about
people
fucking
just
Human?
watch.
We're playing Archmage first every single game, so like it's can be boring as well. We're not complaining about it 24/7, but anyway.
People only watch like happy games and they think there's only one strategy, but like there's a lot more strategies to play with Undead. It's just he found like one strategy where he can beat anything and that's it. But every other race can do that pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Bibilis asked, could someone advise a YouTube channel or website to learn the different matchup? That's for Xlord. I feel like he's gonna know about this.
I didn't get the question. Could you repeat?
Could someone advise a YouTube channel or website to learn the different matchup?
No. I have no clue.
Just watch replays or and streams.
But Warcraft3.info is like the best one right now, right? They
Yeah,
put
yeah.
up articles and you can find replays and streams and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's the gateway to get into.
Yeah,
Warcraft.
actually, it's the main website for the Warcraft.
I guess the best thing would be to watch Todd stream and give some advices.
A good way to get banned.
Snesan asked, question for Anders, what is the state of Clan Sui at this moment? Still gonna compete, or is IRL taking over?
Right now, the coronavirus is actually the best thing that could ever happen to us in Team Sweden. We have all the players have so much time. Today I watched Starshape stream and Knopf stream, and I watched Dovak play at the same time, and that hasn't happened in forever. So we are all really, this is really working out for us great. But I mean, everybody has real life stuff, real life obligations. We're like everybody knows, we're relying heavily on Thorzain. So as long as Thorzain is playing and enjoying himself, we're going to be a threat to anybody. And the rest of the guys are strong too. And if they can get into games, they can take down anybody. So we're trying to hang in there.
Yeah.
Actually, it's another good question for Anders from Billy Bob. Who the fuck are you?
I'm just a random guy. Todd ran out of people to invite, so he asked me if I could jump in.
I thought it'd be cool to have you on. Like,
Yeah, it's cool.
whatever. If this guy doesn't know Anders, he doesn't deserve to know Anders.
Actually, sometimes it's very good to have someone, some no name, a bit among the other players.
Yeah.
Again, no offense. You seem like a cool guy with nice hair and stuff.
Oh, thank you. You seem like a cool guy with a nice hat, so.
Yeah, so we can meet maybe one day.
Exactly. We don't need much more else in common.
Oh my god. I just wanted to stay silent and disappear.
Yeah, just remove this part of the stream.
Todd, what do you think needs to be done in the human undead matchup? I feel like buffing the fast expo master strat is not the way to go, since it's the opposite of entertaining. I think one of the big problems is that if you expand, it's very hard to establish your expand and like secure it and get actual useful units. So I'm not sure. I think like buffing peasants in fucking peasant mode and giving them a few more hit points, already that would be nice. So that's a fucking Rod of Necromancy showing up and killing all of my peasants 10 times in a row for a 150 gold item. That would be a fantastic start already. If that wouldn't happen every single game. If like Coil plus Rod of Necromancy wouldn't kill like 10 peasants. And even later when you get pushed, like it just feels like our base is trash. Even towers. They just smell like butter against everything that Undead has to offer. Then peasants die left and right. All I hear is and then fucking the XP is going up on the Undead heroes. So even buffing peasant hit points, just like anything, like give militia timer a little bit more. I don't know about units, but I feel like units, something has to change. Like Orb of Corruption is insane. Like everything that you make, like you make knights and they die like in like 1 second. It feels like even footmen would last a little bit longer. So yeah, I hope that answers it.
So just buff everything.
Yeah. I would say at least give like some old militia timer or buff peasant basic hit points a little bit more because it's a joke right now. For Vortex and X-Lord, Frost, Nova, and Armor slows. Unholy Aura makes you faster. If you get a Fiend Surround, game should go to score screen automatically. True or false?
What again, sorry?
Guys.
False.
For Vortex and X-Lord, Frost Nova and Armor slows. Unholy Aura makes you faster. If you get a Fiend Surround, game should go to score screen automatically. True or false? He's saying that you lose the game. If
Yeah, I guess that's true. I will do that next time I play.
Like against the best players, could be, yeah. Playing against Todd, you can lose 3 fiends, basically.
Actually, Unholy Aura is not as good as people think. I think it should get buffed.
Nice joke.
Todd, question for the guest and you. Do you believe putting more workers at the start of the game will speed the process and make Warcraft 3 faster, like in StarCraft 2? For example, I asked the same question today at Back to Warcraft channel, and Remo was triggered, plus the whole chat. Do you guys know what happened in StarCraft 2, right? You used to start with, I think it was 6 workers.
Yeah, 6 pool.
Yeah, and then they moved it to 12 workers. So instead of having like some super crazy rush with like, a very few workers, you now started the game like you didn't have to waste 30 seconds or whatever it is to 1 minute of making 6 walkers every single game. And then it would lead to less super cheesy builds in the start. Do you guys think that could be an idea for Warcraft 3?
I think that's a great idea. You can just put in lobby. You can choose the hero you want to play and the strategy, and it's hidden from your opponent. So you can just click and you start the game with the hero and needed units already. So you can just click like Fast Expo and Archimage. Then you click Go, and you end up having expansion level 2 Archimage and stuff. It's kind of nice. And
You can just start on the final fight.
yeah,
straight.
yeah, it's like rock paper scissors. Very good game.
It's called Micro Wars. Star Wars Fifra asked, what do you think about Orc versus Night Elf, where Orc has to hide in his base for like 4 minutes until he has 2 heroes and 2 shamans, while Keeper goes level 3 expo and then push you with Mass Tier 1 at the right moment? You can finally go out of base. Lol.
Lol.
That's for Neutron.
It was a question. I thought he's joking.
Yeah, he asked with what do you think about Orc versus Night Elf?
I think orcs are pretty good right now against the Keeper Must Hunts build. They just if you want advice for orc, don't lose grunts at the start. And
It's really easy. It's really easy against Entangle, right?
no, I mean, if you for lose a grunt, Keeper plus his army should be somewhere nearby your base, but you have a Blade Master which always follows and tries to deny some creeps or expansion from Elf, and at that time, super fast tech and Shadowhunter creeps with grunts nearby his base. And if you see that Keeper is coming, you just turtle a little and wait for shamans. And just be patient and wait for shamans instead of just going and losing like 3 grunts. And after that, yeah, the game gonna be over anyway.
Torren Alpha asked question to everyone. How did you pick your main race? Anders.
Oh, wow, that was so many years ago. I think 2004 or something. I don't know. I just remember. I thought undead felt a little. Yeah, they felt like zombies, and human felt so politically correct. They just felt like the streamlined race with nothing particular about them, and orc felt, I don't know, too clumsy. I felt Night Elf felt elegant.
Well, actually, it's a good question. Name top 3 players for each race: Western scene and Asian
Well,
scene.
you didn't finish. It's a question for everyone, the last one. So let's do that one first. How did you pick your main race?
Oh, okay. I think I just picked a random, like, first one, and then I started to play it because I wanted to get a little better. And then I was with Night Elf, I was super good, and with other races, I was super bad. So I didn't even think about changing. But then I changed it to Orc because I needed something to play against undeads back in the days, and I became good with orc because I practiced it on ladder. And once I realized that my orc is better than my night elf against any race. So yeah, but then I got back to the imba.
X-Lord?
Yeah, at first I was Night Elf. Then it was the time when everybody tower rushed, like humans and orcs tower rushed Elf all the way. And I was really upset about it, so I switched to Undead because you basically can't tower rush them.
Politics?
I think I was playing random at the beginning, and then I joined like one Binet clan, and they told me that they needed undead for the clan war, so I just started playing undead.
Did you ever hold it back against them in all those years of suffering against Orc?
Actually, nah, because I think even if I played random, like my best race was undead anyways. I mean,
Yeah.
I was pretty good human now that I think, but yeah, I just ended up playing undead.
Neutron, you were asking about. You're muted. You said you had a question that you saw that was interesting.
Yeah. Question was good question. Name top 3 players of each race on Western and Europe scene divided. I think it's pretty good one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, and we can start with Xbox.
So I'm the best undead, you mean?
No, I mean you name 3 best players of each race right now in the Western and Europe scene divided. I mean Asian and European.
I will first. Let's do it for Europe. I think. For human, I would say Blade first, second Hawk, third Todd. Then for Orc we have Spiral first, second Cash, if he counts as Orc nowadays, and what Orc is there? I don't know. Knopf maybe. I don't really know. Night Elf, it's obviously Foggy. Second place is a tough one. It's either it's Police or it's Neutron.
Seriously, no Sonic?
No Sonic.
Okay.
And for Undead, of course, Happy first. Then I will probably set me on the second spot, and then there are so many Undeads actually. I don't know. Can't tell.
Okay, Neutron, why don't you go next?
I would not rate Please that high for now. I mean, he's really becomes better and better. I think it's Foggy first for sure. Then I would place myself and Sonic for now. Undead, Happy first, X-Lord second, and probably Shake third, I would say. Yeah. For Orcs, it's Spyro for sure, Cash, and actually I don't know many Orcs, so it may be only 2. And for Human, it's definitely Blade, Hawk, and Johnny Cage, I would say. Yeah, like this.
I want to edit first Blade if he's drunk, of course.
Oh, Side, yeah. Side is also good. I think Side and Shake, like for third place, I would say. Yeah.
Vortex?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I agree with mostly. Like human is probably Blade Hawk and you Todd. And Night Elf is obviously Foggy first, and then Please, I guess, and
Do you guys know
Neutron,
you're not obligated to name Todd in this list? I mean, he's not gonna
yeah,
ban you for
I
that.
guess. And Org, I guess it's Spiral, Cash, and I don't know if there's actually any other top Org.
Feels bad for
Stinker,
Knopf.
maybe? I don't know. I've played against him a couple times lately. Oh, no, yeah, of course. I actually forgot about him because I don't think I've played against him on the last month. Yeah, I guess. And Undead, I don't know. I guess Happy for sure, and then it's pretty close, I guess, between a lot. I guess Pixlore and Side, maybe. I think when I get back to shape, I probably can be top 3, top 2, but right now I'm really out of shape.
Others?
Yeah, I wanted to look at Warcraft 3's info. You know, they have an ELO ranking that you can rank them
but
by
that's
race.
cheating.
Is it cheating though? Okay, then I will try to do it by just from my mind. And I think for human, I'd say Hawk is first, Thorzain is second, and Blade is third. And for Orc, I think Cash, and then I think I really like Cooper. I think Cash, Spiral, and Cooper. Undead, I think Happy, and I think there's so many good X-Lord, and then possibly Side. And for elves, I think it's Foggy, Neutron, and Sonic, maybe. Sonic or Please, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I would say for human, it's Hawk first, pretty clearly result-wise, and then it depends. Like how many tournaments they play. I would say like Blade second usually, and then maybe Thorzain third. But Thorzain doesn't really play much tournaments these days, so it's always hard to tell. But I would say like historically, as of late, he's been pretty good. So I would say Blade and Thorzain. For Orc, it's between Spiral and Cash. They play a bunch of tournaments, both of them, and they're both doing well in them. But it's not usually always like the same tournaments and stuff. So it's hard to rank first and second. I would say maybe as of late, I've been a bit more impressed with Spiral. So Spiral first, Cash second. And then there's a good amount of decent orcs that could be third, you know, like there's Knopf, there's like Bizarre. Also, Knopf also doesn't play that many tournaments, so it's hard to rank, you know. Like I feel like tournament results should be valued more than just ladder and shape in general, you know, right? Then Night Elf, Foggy first, pretty obviously. And then maybe Please, and then Star Shaped.
Pretty legit. Actually,
I don't know how high to rank Neutron because I didn't see any of his games in my tournament recently. So we're gonna have to see, I guess, what happens.
Actually, you can pick any race and place Cash like for third or fourth place over there because his random is super great right now.
Yeah.
Kappa.
And then was I missing something? Yeah, Undead. So Happy first, and then second it's hard to tell. To be honest, I don't watch a ton of tournaments in terms of like non-human matches. But against human, it's kind of weird because they're all doing really well. I don't know why. Like, it must be something special. They must have practiced harder than the humans or something. But they're winning a lot of matches there. So after Happy, it's hard to say. Like sometimes Vortex was really in good shape. Sometimes X-Lord looked really strong. Sheik sometimes looks insane as well. Side has looked good. Yeah, it's kind of hard to. And that is the hardest because there is like a very deep player pool, and a lot of them are doing well, especially against human.
Yeah, in Europe, there are a lot of hundreds. Also, you can name like one who played good, but recently is not showing in tournaments. And sometimes does good. Who else? There was one player I don't remember.
Night End?
No. Night End is full of shit. I don't remember, but there was someone more on that. Oh yeah, Terror. Yeah, Terror sometimes does good too.
Are we supposed to rank also Chinese and Korean players, or?
I'm not really following the scene, so
It's too much work, guys. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Todd, for everybody, I guess, from Spinner Gitter, can you rank the different orbs? Lightning, Venom, Fire, Corruption. Corruption, Venom, Lightning, and then Orb of like Murlocs, fucking anything. Orb of Naga, and then very, very last is Orb of Fire.
Orb of Murlocs are really good.
What about you? Let's go Neutron.
I think every orb fits its race pretty good. So I don't see like undeads with Orb of Venom, for example. So I agree. I think the worst orb is Human's Orb because it's not doing really much. Like all other orbs must have when you got to tier 3. And I mean, if you play Blade Master Fork, especially because for Farseer it's kind of useless. But Human Orb is good, especially against undeads. So undead can heal like full HP for his units, but against other races it's kind of shitty.
X-Lord.
Yeah. Well, the orc orb, we don't see it often against other races than undead, so it's hard to tell. But especially, or for example, against human, it would be also good against the water elementals. But nobody does that. So I would rank the Orb of Corruption first, and second Orc Orb, then Night Elf, and then Human.
Anders?
Yeah, I think the human orb is probably the worst. Even though they try to buff it, like we're adding the healing does less now when you are under attack from the orb. And but I think the best one is probably Orb of Venom or possibly Orb of Corruption, and then somewhere in the middle there is the Orb of Lightning. Isn't it like Orb of Darkness also? Does that count?
No.
The
This one is so shit it wasn't even listed.
It's Orb of
This one is
300
even
gold.
worse than the Orb of Murlocs. Vortex?
Yeah, I guess Orb of Corruption is probably the best. It's so crucially in Undead as well. The worst is the human one, and the other two are kind of similar, I guess, and situational. Well, I mean, Orb of Venom seems to be 100% peak also, right? Every game seems pretty good, but yeah, I guess Corruption is best for sure, and human was for sure. Don't know about the other two. It's kind of even, I guess.
Pizza Intergalactic, great nickname, asked, I have a question about a Night Elf unit that is never used. Talents. Should not they be changed? Okay, should they not be changed, first of all? English, please. Don't you think it's not normal that they almost never used at pro level? Neutron.
I think it's pretty decent units, but it's super situational. It's still good if you play against orcs, for example. You can bluff your opponent that you play Hans and or something, and go straight to talents like in the good old days, and it still works. Against undeads, it's bad because they are super easy to kill and super easy to dispel the spells with destroyers. Against human, it's also pointless in most cases. Some people used it to push the human expansion because they can easily kill footmen with under the shield. And I think in mirror it's sometimes we still use it in the mirror. I mean, I play mostly keeper in the mirror right now, and in games against demon hunter I always go expo and mass talents against bears, so it's still usable. So it's okay unit. I don't think you need to change something about it.
To the undead players, any ideas to make Criplord viable as first hero? Vortex.
Any ideas to make Grippler viable?
As first hero.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
give him
You would
Death
have to
Guard.
make like Beatles super strong, I guess, or something. Because with how high the mana cost is for Impale, it's definitely not an option to go Crippler first with Impale.
Yeah.
So maybe if you can make and even if you reduce the mana, I don't think that would be good either, because until you get level 3, it's pretty much useless.
Imagine if
And,
Beatles were undispellable.
Nah, but you really need to make something happen with the Beatles early game. And no one has. Well, I mean, neither has this spell early game, but I don't think that would change much. I think you would need to make them like super strong, like give them burrow or something and higher move speed, more HP, more damage. Just buff them all the way. And even then, I think it would still be a shit hero, honestly.
Speaking of which, did Happy defeat Mr. Inen with Crippler first? Does anybody know?
Let me have a look. I'm gonna assume so, but might as well double check.
Yeah, he did.
It was a 9-0.
Well, then maybe he is viable.
And in the last game on Echo Isle, he played Dark Ranger, Naga Firelord.
Wow, okay.
But Happy's so used to play those strategies on 4v4, right? So it doesn't count. He gets good practice with Grimlock.
X-Law, did you answer that?
Well, basically you have to rework the whole hero. You can't play him right now. As a first, never, and maybe as a third. But even there, he is completely trash.
Okay, question for everyone. Would you like to make every season a completely new map pool, because balance depends on maps very much? Also, what about new version of all maps like Lost Temple, ladder version, Nullwood, ladder version, etc.? Actually, it's kind of a bad question in that, like, no, we don't want to change all maps, I'm pretty sure. And also, like, these maps are like bad example. I think some new version of them could be good, but it's a discussion that we haven't had actually on this town hall meeting about the maps. Like, how important do you guys think it would be to have some newer maps, at least rotating it in the tournaments and in the other seasons? Like, Echo Isle has been around forever. I think it's like a super boring map. So like, do you guys agree? And would you like to see new maps?
I think it's really annoying to have a lot of maps that play exactly the same way. Like back in the day when you had other maps like Turtle Rock and stuff that you had like very unique games on those maps, and it feels like now there's like 4 or 5 maps that are very similar and you get to see the same strategies all the time. I
Yeah, it's
think
super
like
boring.
rotating them very often is not good, but I think we should have a more diverse map pool.
There
think-
were a lot of new maps on the High to Chaco tournament. If you know, I don't think X-Lord and Vortex played at that moment, but there was a tournament.
Xlord wasn't born yet.
Yeah, there was a tournament hosted by High to Chaco, is some streamer that is not on the scene right now, but there were like 5 or 6 or 7 maps, completely different from the current map pool, with a lot of fun stuff. Like on some maps, some important crypts were rotating. So once you play this map on the same location, it could be like the shop. On the next game, the shop is in different place, and it was kind of fun. Every game is different, and the maps were pretty big, so there were not so many fast games on this. So I liked it very much, and the games were really different compared to the standard ones. So it was really fun to play. I think if even if you not put this map on the ladder and try to host some tournaments on different maps, it would be great. So I think actually for you, Todd, you can make some once the tournament on the completely different maps. It's gonna be cool.
Xlord?
Yeah, I would suggest like in Counter-Strike they do it. They rework the maps. I think maybe every half a year or a year they rework the maps and change some things. I would wish that for Warcraft 2. It would be quite nice, and would change maybe the matchups a little bit on each map. It doesn't have necessarily to be new maps, but of course, I would say the pro players, at least I think for me, I can speak that I wouldn't want like 3 or 4 maps at once, and because you have to basically learn how to play on those maps, and it's time consumable, I think.
Anders?
I don't know. I think Warcraft 3 is kind of, it's been left untouched for so long. So like the maps, there is something to it though. You could like loading up and playing a match that you remember watching, like on a map that you watched maybe someone played 10 years ago. So there's like a history going on here, and there's also something to it. When you perfect something, and it's just all about making decision and forcing mistakes and so on. But yeah, for the sake, I don't think reworking the whole map pool, not at once, but introducing one every once in a while map or so, like they've kind of done, is quite all right, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think actually some of the map makers for sure like watch this show, and this next episode of the town meeting is actually supposed to be a special one with map makers. So that's gonna be interesting discussion for sure to be able to talk with these guys. Okay, I think that's gonna be it for now, guys. Let's do some shout outs. Let's tell people where they can follow you and find you on social media, on Twitch, everything. And then we're done with the show, and it was a very good discussion. Let's go with Xlord first.
Well, I don't have to tell my Twitter because it's right here somewhere.
Yeah, but some people are listening to this through a podcast, so you do have to tell them your Twitter.
So my Twitter is IXIXLord, and my Twitch is the same. So you can find me. Sometimes I'm streaming. Right now, this week, because of Corona. Like Ender said, it's a great time to be alive because of Corona. And yeah, no shout outs. I think to Mousesports, thank you for having me. Even though I sometimes I'm so-called bad-mannered, but
What about your teammates?
what do you want to hear? Shout outs
It
to Juan
doesn't
and
give a
Andy.
shit about it.
Yeah, I'm sure they would like to hear that. They're watching the show. Your girlfriend, anything, like your family.
Nope.
Okay, never mind. Anders?
Yeah, first of all, when I saw the list of guys I was going to be on, I was super excited. I mean, all you guys are great guys and so high level players. So I was super excited about hearing your thoughts, and you didn't disappoint. It was amazing to hear you guys talk about the game, and it's really awesome to hear the insight you have. And also to you, Todd, I mean, I think you're doing such a cool thing here. You got a great platform thanks to your career and what you've done. And now you're actually, putting every town hall, you find guys that some people might not have heard about, and you create a great mix of different types of people who come and you get great content. So, and also overall, I think you're doing a lot of good things. So I want to say thank you to that. I mean, I know we don't take it for granted what you're doing. So you should know that at least we in the Swedish scene really appreciate. I know we didn't show up to your Iron Couch event, and I still to this day regret that I'm really hoping that we can get a second chance to do that right.
Yeah.
And yeah, overall, just shout out to all the Swedish guys. We're trying hard to keep up with all you rest of you tryhards in the scene, all you Germans and Russians and whatnot who seems to be having no other life than playing Warcraft 3. You're making it hard for us here to make something happen in Warcraft 3. But we're trying to hang in there. We got a nice match coming up now versus Raptor Gaming in W3IL on the 29th. So we're looking forward to get the league season going because we usually perform quite good in those leagues. And yeah, other than that, I'm trying to be very active on Twitter with Warcraft content. Right now, I'm trying to focus on the Swedish scene a lot. There is actually a few upcoming Swedish players that I'm looking out for. That we aren't really spoiled with that in Sweden. We are kind of we're relying on Thorzain. Thorzain has carried us for so many years. I'm trying to see if we can get somebody else who can show up and do some good things. And yes, I'm trying to promote the Swedish scene a little bit on Twitter. So if you're interested in that, you should follow me.
No Twitch for you?
No, nothing worth mentioning.
Okay. Neutron?
I want to shout out to my team, Oceanus Gaming, also for all my members, all my teammates, like the Mr. Beardo side, who I'm gonna play on Friday night for the King of the Night Hill.
Do you have a message for him?
Yeah. I'm gonna crush you, motherfucker. Actually, I love this guy. He's so mannered and nice. And also shout out for my baby girl who is waiting for me right now in the to put her on sleep. So thanks all of you. Thanks for having me, Todd. And see you guys. I'm gonna go now. Bye bye.
All right, see you, man. Vortex?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. And basically, you guys can find me at Vortex93 on Twitch. I took on streaming like 2 weeks ago, and I stream pretty much daily. Might stream some StarCraft 2 also in the future, just for fun. That's pretty much about it. You can also find me at Vortex_93 on Twitter. And that's pretty much it.
Are you
I
gonna
guess shout out to my new team, KPI. You can find the Discord on my Twitch channel and Twitter, and you can join. There's a Warcraft 3 channel there. So, good stuff.
Are you gonna try and motivate your brother to maybe return and practice more?
I mean, I'm telling him to start playing a bit again, but he's just quite lazy when it comes to playing games lately.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for being on, and I will put all of your socials under the video as always, and let the people know to make sure to follow you and check out your streams and everything. So much love, everyone. Have a good night, and we'll see you around. All right. That was a good show, good discussion. Thanks to my guests for joining me. Be sure to follow them if you want to find out more of their contents. If you are enjoying the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. This helps us cover production costs, such as podcast hosting, and continue providing this content. This podcast is live now on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, SoundCloud, and many more. So if you want to have this show delivered to you in audio format, just search for Todd's Town Hall Meeting on your favorite platform. Visit the Patreon page, patreon.com/ToDGaming. Supporters get the YouTube show, VODs, and podcasts emailed to them ASAP. YouTube VODs are public a day later. Plus, I have quite a few more perks listed on different tiers, such as priority Q&A questions, Discord perks, monthly replay packs, custom recorded voice message you can use for a stream alert, voicemail, greeting, or whatever, ability to cast votes for the future direction of my tutorial content. And you can submit replays for me to analyze live on stream and much more. Check it out. Join my Discord and follow my Twitter for updates. Subscribe to YouTube for show VODs and game highlight videos. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next week.